I learned a long time ago that there's no sense getting all riled up every time a bunch of idiots give you a hard time. In the end, the universe tends to unfold as it should. Plus, I have a really large penis. That keeps me happy.
You look goofy.
Black girl magic!
Now, what you've got here is a scrotum and nothing else.
Nerdrotic.com.
Hey, we're back. I'm back. Yeah. Greetings, you hellions. Welcome to the Nerdrotic Nooner. It's hump day, the best day to have a nooner, but every day is a good day to have a nooner. And I'm happy to be back from a wonderful vacation where I got to spend time with some family, got to see my little sister, my mom, my nieces. My youngest son graduated high school. So that's two kids who did something I never did, graduated high school. So congratulations to me and them.
Congratulations, man. That's great.
Yes.
What was your vacation like? 3 days? You
No.
were like, I'm tight. It's like, what's your day? Oh, dude.
Well,
He's working.
it was supposed to be no videos, no live streams. That didn't happen. Okay. That didn't happen.
Yeah.
I was supposed to be on Forbidden Frontier and couldn't because the connection was just bad. We were in Tombstone. But no, I had the video we just did was a Herculean effort by Garrett. He edited that in a freaking night. And I couldn't be on camera. So we just did audio and it worked out fine. So yes, well done, Garrett. Well done, Perry.
Yeah, it was great.
Yeah.
Drinker style. I liked it.
Yeah, it was totally accidental, folks. But yeah, thanks. Thanks. Maybe I should be off camera more often. But no, but most of the time I was pretty much unplugged, hanging out, doing what Nerdrotic Jr. wanted to do. And we saw petroglyphs. They went and saw some Pueblos. We went to Tombstone. We did like the Great American Southwest tour, went to Bisbee. Bisbee's awesome. Bisbee's a crazy town. It's like a hippie artist thing now, but it used to be like a mining town near Tombstone, and it's like nestled in this like little valley, and it's rad. It's pretty cool. I liked Bisbee. The food was good there too. So yeah, we had a good time. We just chilled. We drove around, and now we're back. Let's fucking go. Hi, Chris. How are you?
Hey, I'm doing much better. So thank you to everyone who has been so kind with your messages, your super chats. You gave me a big super chat.
Yes.
So appreciate it. And yeah, I'm feeling good. I'm like finally able to exercise.
Oh,
like,
good.
I can actually like lift weights and, you know, go out like walking 5 miles a day and feeling good. I actually feel really good. So
Awesome. Well, you look good,
You look
pal.
good.
You look good.
Yeah,
pal.
I finally got my hair cut. It's a trim, but I'm keeping the beard.
For
I'm
an
going Riker style.
you
I
got a
look
little
like
color for an indoorsman. You got a little color there.
Yeah, I do to being out in the sun. But I feel like I look like Race Bannon from the, the Johnny Quest cartoon.
No, I think you're looking more like Robert Meyer Burnett.
Yes, that's right.
Every
look
time I
like
see the
R&B.
periphery,
We're twinsies now,
Dude.
so
That tweet that was going around was hilarious.
I'll take it.
Yeah, if because there's a tweet going around that was from like a week ago where they look exactly alike right now.
I love Robert. We've been friends since the 90s. Oh my God, 90s. Wow.
Yeah.
So yeah.
That's 30 years ago, buddy.
Yeah, that's right.
30 years ago. So welcome back.
people.
Excellent. Good.
I am at Zia's place right now, and where her God, it's getting so loud. Where the camera's pointed is not where I'm sitting, so that's why I'm off cam.
Well, I saw where the cameras was.
Yeah.
I saw it was pointed.
I think half the internet saw that.
Zia, what happened to your clothes?
It happens sometimes to people, and if people like it, that's what they like.
Triple X-ray girl.
Yeah. Well, there was only 2 X's, Zia and X-ray. We need a third X, so
Yeah.
We'll
Well,
see.
it's Zia is a sweetheart. She
She's
wears a
very
bikini
lovely.
well, and she likes snacks.
she does. I
She
can't
likes
wait for our
snacks.
snack stream.
And Doctor Who. So
And Doctor
Yeah.
Who. Yeah, snack stream this Thursday. Very excited.
That's right.
excellent.
Yeah.
And then you'll be in Texas soon. You'll be at my house
Yes.
with Kara, and then we're gonna go to the meetup, and we're gonna see Chris. So Chris emails me. He's like, "Dude, you got to see this documentary." I'm like, "I already bought tickets. The Frank Miller documentary.
Where for where? Where's the screening?
It's screening at Cinemarks. So it's a Monday at 7 p.m. at a Cinemark location. So you should be able to get tickets.
I gotta find it. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, no, it's like it's around the country. If you're interested in seeing the Frank Miller documentary, which looks pretty damn good, to be honest with you, it is screening throughout the country Monday, June 10th at 7 p.m. at Cinemark locations. Go take a look. There you go. So yeah, can't wait to see that. But we saw a movie that I guess a lot of people didn't see called Furiosa. And it's created some very interesting conversations on the internet. Most of it is bot coping, bot trolling. But I think it does. I think it's worth talking about because the movie isn't bad. It's not a bad movie at all. It's actually pretty fucking good. It's well directed. It's just not a Mad Max movie. His name shouldn't be in it. And quite frankly, with all the coping out there, the answer is so fucking simple. And I said it in my video. Sorry if I'm ruining my video. Please go watch it anyway. Mad Max isn't in it. That's why it didn't succeed. It's not like Furiosa's a girl boss. It's not like she's a terrible character. She's just not that great of a character. She's not going to go down in pop culture history. People aren't going to be talking about her 40 years later. They will be talking about, hey, these are pretty good movies that didn't do well. Movies, by the way. Movies. We're having the same conversation we had during Fury Road. This is the same fucking conversation. So for anybody to act surprised, and Hollywood is definitely in trouble. Theaters are in trouble. But the Furiosa argument is completely separate from, I would even say, Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes, which was just fucking boring and too long. A good criticism of Furiosa, I think, is it's too long. It's too fucking long. Too long. Yep. And Fall Guy, which had a ton of great word of mouth. But let's be real. That's not a movie you should be considered a summer tentpole, right? And this is all an aftermath of last year, of honestly the last 4 to 5 years. This is the general public is sick of Hollywood. They are. So, but both things can be true. You also haven't given them very much. You fucking delayed everything this year. Like everything's been pushed out. We all knew this was going to be a crappy year, and it's probably going to perform less. Well, it's right now it's 20% below what it was last year. And remember last year of the flopbuster, where everything pretty much flopped. We had two monster movies released on the same weekend that still couldn't help the studios recover any money at all.
Yeah.
So $2 billion films did nothing for their respective studios. They were still in debt by the end of the year. Theaters were still in trouble at the end of the year. And what do we have this year? Hollywood is relying, has their hopes on Despicable Me 4, which will probably make a lot of money and kids will love it. And I'm not saying it's bad, but it's Despicable Me 4 and a third Deadpool movie.
Yeah. A couple of thoughts. One, Furiosa it is good, but it's mixed. You know, it's too long. The title is terrible. It's all about branding. Let me just say, George Miller did not edit the trailer. He didn't title the movie. Those were all choices by Warner Brothers. And it gave people a wrong impression that this was a girl boss movie. It's not a girl boss movie, but it was marketed as a girl boss movie. And that's why people were turned off.
Yes.
Because we saw the Marvels. We saw Madam Web, Girl Boss. People do not like that movie. Maybe stop making it or stop doing the bait and switch. So yeah, it's really disheartening. And the length, yes, that 40 minutes where she's 12 is like, cut it down to 10. Would have been fine. But I watched Fury Road the last 2 days. I saw Fury Road, and then I watched it again, Black and Chrome edition. Furiosa is not that great in that movie.
No.
And that movie's got some script issues. It doesn't.
Both of them do.
Yeah, I mean, it's got issues, but the action spectacular.
It's
so good. IMAX, you have to see it.
It's so well directed. I could make a pretty good argument that this is a better directed movie than Dune, which might freak a lot of people out, but it is. Like, it's a really well directed movie. It's got some problems with the third act. They rush it a little bit, especially when they put way too much time in the first 40 minutes, but I never felt bored in the movie. I never, it was just, I was more interested in the world and all the other characters besides Furiosa. But Anya Taylor-Joy is a better Furiosa than Charlize Theron.
That's
for sure.
She's a better Furiosa. Yes, for sure. She is better.
Yeah.
In the role.
But the fact of the matter is what you just said. It's people are over the girl boss, and there are repercussions. Like, I don't know how Hollywood doesn't think there's going to be repercussions to all of this. You just gave us years of bait and switch and girl bosses. No, not every movie, but it was certainly in the vast majority of genre, particularly Marvel, Star Wars, go down the line. And this is a genre film that speaks to a very specific audience. For one, it's niche, right? For me and Chris, the Mad Max saga, the real one, the 3 films are as big as Star Wars, and I think they have the same problems as Star Wars. The first 2 movies are fucking 10 out of 10, and the third movie is half a great movie and half not so great of a movie. But still, I'd rather watch Beyond Thunderdome than any of this. And it was part of the lexicon. It was part of the culture. Like, Thunderdome became like, we're going to the Thunderdome. This is good. Like, that became part of the talk. But this is a 40-year-old franchise, for one. It's a 40-year-old franchise. It was a big deal to Gen X. We fucking loved it. It defined the post-apocalyptic feature in genre, the way it looks. And it came out too late. There's so many excuses you can put up for this. If this was released closer to Fury Road, it probably would have done better. But you could throw all the excuses aside. Is it you recast a side character from a movie that underperformed? Fury Road did not make any money. The budget was between 168 and 185 million back then. So it did not make its money back. Was it necessary? I think it was like a beautifully unnecessary movie. It's a beautifully made unnecessary movie. And the fact of the matter is, you put Mel Gibson as Old Man Mad Max in this movie, and it makes its money back. That is just without question. People go, well, what about Dial of Destiny? Big difference. Steven Spielberg didn't direct Dial of Destiny. Not that that would have helped much. And George Lucas wasn't involved. You had George Miller building his own world, and it made sense. It totally made sense. And I didn't think like Mad Max. I like the mystery of Mad Max. Like you don't know what's going on in the rest of the world. I think that's what helps. It leaves a lot to your imagination. It's like Jaws. I didn't think it needed world building, but they did it really well. Like George Miller did it very well. And everything else other than Furiosa, who wasn't terrible, just wasn't, it's not compelling. People don't want to see it. And people can, what I see on Twitter, Chris, from who knows how real these people are. Like one, I put in my video, one was for Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes, but we're seeing a lot of coping for people going, well, just the general audiences are just shit. Well, wow. And Hollywood fucking wonders why nobody wants to go to their movies. Robert De Niro's fucking act in New York the other day. And Hollywood is wondering why people don't want to see your fucking movies anymore. It's not rocket science. People don't like you anymore. That's that's the fact of the matter. And you need to do there needs to be a lot of goodwill to help get a very small portion of the audience back that you've lost forever. Because there's no amount of goodwill that's going to bring everybody back.
It just sucks that now we're seeing objectively good movies, entertaining movies fail. And I was watching Real BBC yesterday, and Az and Mahler made a really good point. And I remember they were talking about, do you remember just going to the movies, not knowing what you were going to see?
Yes.
And you're like, let's go to the movies because that's a fun thing to do. You'd go to the theater. It's a 12-plex or whatever. You look and you're like, you got comedy, horror, a drama, romantic comedy. Maybe there's a sci-fi thing, which was rare back then, the 80s and 90s. These were not constants. And you just pick a movie, you'd roll the dice, not know much about it, and go, that was pretty good. Even the sort of B-level movies from that era were decent films. And movies now, people have been burned too much.
Yep.
You go to a pizza place and they make crappy pizza and you eat it and go, this is crappy pizza. You stop going to that pizza place.
And you don't blame the customer.
Right.
You made the crappy pizza. It's not the customer's fault. It's not the general audience. The general audience has been giving you guys, Hollywood, a shot for a long time. Fucking Doctor Strange Mom made almost $1 billion. Thor, Love and Blunder made over 700 million. Wakanda Forever made over 100. They gave you a chance. They gave you a really good chance. Too good of a chance. And now
people are over Marvel, so fuck that. But it's sad that habit is broken, and it's really because of bad pizza. Now, I think it was Domino's that did a campaign. You can look up the video. It's weird where they said, okay, we know our pizza sucks. We changed the formula. We hear you. And they actively advertised their pizza was bad and they were making it better. Like, there's just nothing conciliatory or we want to win back people. Although, like, who does that? Tom Cruise. And did you see this trailer when you went to see Furiosa? It's Ryan Reynolds.
Yes.
And Hugh Jackman.
It was great.
And that was hilarious. They didn't, I mean, obviously it's promoting the movie, but it's funny. That was good.
No, they're walking through a tunnel, right? And a phone rings. And Deadpool's like, is that me? And Wolverine goes, it's not me. And he turns around, they bleep it out, and he's all, you better turn off your fucking phone. And if you don't, I'm going to shove it so far up your fucking ass, you're going to fucking puke it.
Yeah.
It's great. I was like, yes.
I did not see that.
That was fucking awesome. That was awesome. I wish they wouldn't have beeped it out, but it was great.
Speaking of Deadpool and Wolverine, have you seen this promotion in theaters?
I was on my phone, by the way, when they did that.
Yeah, that's funny. I don't know if you can see this. It's a Deadpool and Wolverine coin. It's a token. And in certain theaters, they have one of those claw machines. And if you show them, hey, I've got tickets.
If they put Miles Morales on that would have just made it 10 out of 10, by the way.
No, but it's so, and they have it's a little claw machine and it goes down, it grabs an egg. In the egg is the little locket that's from the poster. I tried 4 times, I didn't get it. So I'll try again. So if you see one of those machines, give it a shot.
Oh, those damn machines.
Yeah.
Didn't Jeremy from The Quartering used to do those machine videos?
He had a whole channel.
Yeah, a whole
where he
channel.
talked about it. And it was all like, those machines are BS. They're kind of a scam. And he called that stuff out. So
Good.
Yeah.
With that's why Furiosa, it's a case of fatigue. So this is your legit case of fatigue, whatever fucking fatigue you want to call it. It is a case for fatigue of people, and this is partially the reason people are sick of what came before. The other reason we could point out Deadpool and Wolverine is Hollywood's just not giving people what they want. We've suffered that through Marvel and all the other shit we've talked about before. They're just not giving people what they want. The Last Jedi should have been about Luke Skywalker.
Right.
And it wasn't. You're just not giving. It's a really simple answer. Now, it gets more complicated as to why they're not, because they know they're doing it. They know they're fucking doing it. And they think they're smarter than you. They think, these characters are old and the young people don't like these characters anymore. And the people making these decisions are all 72-year-old fucking bankers who don't watch their own shit. So it's pretty simple how we got here. So people can, if half the people bitching about people not watching Furiosa went and saw Furiosa, it might have done better.
True.
So we got, which is funny, we got Drinker. Somebody tweeted about Drinker, which is hilarious. I mean, you knew this was coming, right?
What did they say?
I got a couple of comments under my video too from people who just didn't watch it, right? They just like, look at the thumbnail, make a comment, whatever. So Drinker gave it a positive review. And
I saw it.
Whoever this dude is on Twitter, by the way, this thing got botted to hell. I think he's got like 10,000 likes on it. It's like, whatever. Get a job, stay away from her. You leave Furiosa alone.
He gave it a good review.
Yes.
And he was even like, I was on his show and, gave my review, which was mixed. I said, here's the great things about it. Here's the flaws. And I said, it's not a girl boss movie. And then in my comments on Film Thread, people came after me. Oh, what do you mean it's all girl boss? No one saw the movie. Please see the movie before you comment on the movie. It's kind of my rule. But you can, the marketing was bad. But yeah, obviously people react to thumbnails and assumptions. And I hate that. It's
part of the game. But the funniest thing is the biggest argument on Twitter is nobody's watching Furiosa, and this motherfucker didn't watch his fucking review of Furiosa.
Right.
Which is good. Which is fucking internet. So go watch if you haven't, go watch the Drinker's video. It's fucking great. So I thought that was funny. But yeah, there's been just a lot of cope, but the most interesting one was Jimmy Fallon writer and people part of the industry. You have industry people like tangential industry people and access media people just going, what do you want? They gave you something good and you're not going to see it. It's like, so we don't have to spend our money on your shit. Like what the fuck do you want? What do you want? You want our money? You want us to just go stuff and trust you? Hollywood's a broken brand. It's lost its trust. So yes, that is probably an aspect of why this film didn't do well, but I would argue it was never going to do well. Mm-hmm. I said that before. It was never going to do well because the last one didn't do well, and at least that had Tom Hardy guest starring as Mad Max in a Mad Max movie. And if that's not going to do well, this one's not going to do well. It's pretty easy to fucking figure out. And it goes back to giving people what they want. That's what Hollywood has been completely against over the last 5 years because they're trying to push something that people don't want. And they think, well, we need to do this because this is a platform now. We're trying to influence culture instead of responding to it. Hollywood is where trends go to die. And now it's where ideas and stories go to die.
For sure.
There's no creativity left. And there's a lot of people who are starting to recognize that within the industry. And I think you're in kind of a cascade right now. You're in a doom loop, like we talked about. Like it's how do you reignite the indie industry? Well, Hollywood can't. The indie industry, will decentralize and reignite itself, and Hollywood won't have control over it. And that's the only way this continues. But movies, and especially movies in the theater, they used to be the pinnacle of entertainment. That's long since passed. And TV will take over. Like, it will. The serialized storytelling, once they fucking figure it out, they were close to doing it, will be the one thing that takes over. They'll spend more money on TV because you could tell more stories, and the theater, which the studios still need, but the streamers don't. Netflix made it real fucking clear recently. Like, we don't need the theaters. So that's bad. I think that part is bad for movies. I'm fine with good serialized storytelling when it's good, like House of the Dragon. Like, I would rather see a really good series than a movie because you get more story. You get more in depth. I'd rather see it when it's done really well. It's just so rare. It's just
The Acolyte.
Oh, I can't wait.
Can't wait for The Acolyte.
What's the countdown? Acolyte coming out during Pride Month. I'm sure that was completely coincidental.
On purpose.
What
is it? Is it next week?
It is a week from yesterday. A week from yesterday.
By the way, I have not gotten a screener yet.
I am shocked.
Alan and I were talking. We usually get it a week or 2 weeks in advance. Nothing. So I think we'll get it last minute.
Probably because, it's the Marvels for Star Wars. It's going to be freaking horrible. At least this one won't be in the theater. Assaulting people's senses or asking for money other than being behind a paywall on D+. But so what is our poll? Most of the people didn't watch Furiosa because they didn't want to. Why would they want to? So I don't blame the audience. That's the moral of this story. Hollywood, if any people from your industry are out there blaming the audience, you're just ensuring your extinction. You're ensuring your extinction. You need to understand the audience and understand that they want to be entertained. They don't want to be preached to. They don't want the girl boss trope, and it's a fucking trope, is done. Like, people are so fucking over it. And there's still more shit to come out, by the way, that's held out. It's a lot of this is a holdover stuff. But yeah, people just didn't want to see it. And yes, it's good. And there's a lot of, I think, peripheral excuses you can make, but the main one, Mel Gibson is Mad Max.
Yeah, him returning would be like, Harrison Ford, Mark Hamill, and Carrie Fisher coming back to Star Wars. But that's how big it would be. But Hollywood hates Mel Gibson.
Yeah, and it'll be, what a redemption story, right?
Yeah.
What a fucking redemption. For one, like, Robert Downey Jr. went out and gave a speech and said, like, it's time to forgive this guy. Fuck.
Yeah.
For one, look at what industry you're in. And you're like, don't throw stones in glass houses. Like, what this guy did, he went in a drunken rampage. He didn't diddle kids.
Yeah. Did you see the speech RDJ gave? Like, thanking Mel Gibson.
Yes.
Who reached out to him when he was at his lowest and helped RDJ. And it's such a good speech. It's all like, it was great. Look that up.
Could you find that X-Ray Girl?
Yeah, where he praises Mel.
It's around.
How much he helped him. I don't want to ruin it. It's so good.
Yeah. So him coming back would be everybody loves a redemption story. Especially when, he's an alcoholic. He's a recovering alcoholic. And the reason we know he's canceled is because he supported Angel Studios, with Under Freedom and his politics, right?
Yeah.
That's it. His perceived politics, we don't even know. But and for the youngsters who don't know, Mel Gibson was the biggest star in Hollywood for the longest time. One of the most respected people, by many people saying the most fun guy to be around, the most helpful guy. Yeah, he's been completely ostracized. Here we go.
Great.
Actually, I asked Mel to present this award to me for a reason, because when I couldn't get sober, he told me not to give up hope, and he urged me to find My faith didn't have to be his or anyone else's as long as it was rooted in forgiveness. And I couldn't get hired, so he cast me in the lead of a movie that was actually developed for him. And he kept a roof over my head, and he kept food on the table. And most importantly, he said that if I accepted responsibility for my wrongdoings, and if I embraced that part of my soul that was ugly, hugging the cactus, he calls it.
Hugging the cactus.
He said that if I hugged the cactus long enough, I'd become a man of some humility, and that my life would take on a new meaning. And I did, and it worked. All he asked in return was that someday I help the next guy in some small way. It's reasonable to assume that at the time he didn't imagine the next guy would be him.
John Landis.
Or that someday was tonight. So anyway, on the special occasion and in light of the recent holidays, including Columbus Day, I humbly ask that you join me unless you are completely without sin, in which case you picked the wrong industry.
Right there. Right there.
Forgiving my friend his trespasses, offering him the same clean slate you have me, and allowing him to continue his great and ongoing contribution to our collective art without shame. He's hugged the cactus long enough.
Wow.
Yep.
That's such a brave thing for him to say, to reach out to Mel. And the fact that that didn't change anything doesn't surprise me. People in Hollywood are they're so up their own ass. And it's so, I just cringe. It just annoys me. People in the industry are it's the most hypocrites ever in this industry. I hate it.
Yep. And now that we've gotten to know them, thanks to social media, it gets exposed like so much, and they wonder why there isn't a movie star and people aren't going to movies now. And and it'll turn around like Deadpool and Wolverine. The pre-sales are insane. They're behind Spider-Man No Way Home, as they should be. Like Tobey Maguire returning to Spider-Man is the kind of thing that Hollywood should have done right after COVID. Right? Let's do some sure things right now. We can't take many risks, so let's do something that, I don't know, that we know will make money, that we know the audiences will like. It took forever for an act of desperation for Marvel to figure out Deadpool and Wolverine, and the pre-sales are insane. Again, it's behind No Way Home, so it'll probably only make $1 billion instead of $2 billion. But you just gave people what they want. That's it. And don't look past that. You put superheroes in proper costumes, played by the characters that people like. It's not hard to figure out, but apparently it is. Just like adaptations. They seem to not be able to figure out adaptations as well. And we have George R. Martin, our boy.
I hate to say, I like that quote. I like what he had to say.
I did too.
I really like what he said.
It's funny Neil Gaiman is there because did you watch Sandman? But George R. Martin and Neil Gaiman hate when Hollywood makes legitimate changes to source material, illegitimate changes to source material. Fucking morons. So wonder what he could be talking about. Now, I don't have a count right now on how many days it's been since the release of A Dance with Dragons. I can check real quick before we get started. It is 4,705 days since the release of A Dance with Dragons. We're good. If it makes it past the next election, that's 4 presidential elections, by the way, since the book came out. George R. R. Martin reflected on his literary and Hollywood career and shared stories about book tour mishaps and Hollywood morons in a conversation with Sandman author Neil Gaiman at New York City's Symphony Space Theater Thursday night. Martin was promoting his book, The Rise of the Dragon, An Illustrated History of the Targaryen Dynasty, Volume 1, which came out last year. Don't know why he's promoting that again. Probably ahead of House of the Dragon. It's a coffee table book that pretty much reiterates most of Fire and Blood. It's just got some art in it, but it doesn't really add much story, by the way. And it's just a way to satisfy his publishers because of his massive delay of A Dance with Dragons. Attendees were given signed copies of either Rise of the Dragon or Martin's 2018 book Fire and Blood, which serves as the source material for HBO's House of the Dragon. Since the contents of Fire and Blood extend far beyond that, what audiences have seen so far in House of the Dragon, Martin warned the audience with a smile, if you don't like spoilers, don't read the whole book. But if you don't read it until, buy it, but don't read it until the show's over. And to think about that book real quick is it's basically a Song of Ice and Fire Wikipedia. So it gives you the events. Doesn't give you a ton of context, doesn't have any real dialogue, no characterization. It just tells you the events. So like the events of season 1 was a chapter, right? Was just a chapter. Season 2 will be probably 2 or 3 chapters. Martin reflected on the ups and downs of his long career as a writer and producer, saying he is grateful it took several decades for him to reach the success he currently enjoys. You know, you don't want to begrudge the man for enjoying his, like later on he got success, but got to finish the book. You do. Let's go down to what he says about adaptations, X-Ray Girl. So we don't read the entire article. There we go. On honoring source material. Now he talked a lot about, his stuff, and that's great. By the way, I was just in Santa Fe, New Mexico. Did not see George R. R. Martin. Did not. I looked everywhere. And I couldn't find him. As someone who has been on both sides of screen adaptations of literature, Martin discussed the obligation to be faithful to the written material, which he said is a controversial issue in Hollywood. The author made it clear where he stands. How faithful do you have to be? Some people don't feel that they have to be faithful at all. There's this phrase that goes around, I'm going to make it my own. I hate that phrase, and I think Neil probably hates that phrase too. Gaiman says, I do, except he was heavily involved in The Sandman on Netflix, which heavily altered the source material and what characters look like. But never mind that. I spent 30 years watching people make Sandman their own. And some people hadn't read Sandman to make it their own. They just flipped through the comic books, and Gaiman added, it was a joy getting to make Sandman 1. Okay. On Netflix, and Martin energized the crowd by saying, we want season 2, which they barely got, by the way. Martin continued. There are changes that you have to make or that you're called upon to make, and I think they are legitimate. And there are other ones that are not legitimate. He recalled adapting Roger Zelazny's The Last Defender of Camelot for an episode of The Twilight Zone, and due to the budget constraints, being forced to choose between having horses or an elaborate Stonehenge-esque set for the battle scene. He didn't want to make that decision, so he called Zelazny, who chose to scrap the horses. Okay, that's good that he asked that guy. That, to my, by the way, that Twilight Zone, that second series from the 80s, fucking awesome. That, to my mind, is the kind of stuff you are called upon to do in Hollywood that is legitimate. An example of illegitimate change, Martin said, I would say Rings of Power, but was CBS making him include the ordinary person who just tags along in the episode in order to appeal to a high concept. I was new in Hollywood, Martin said, I didn't say you're fucking morons. Right. Martin related the topic to the Iron Throne in HBO's adaptation of Song of Ice and Fire. Why is the Iron Throne at Game of Thrones not the Iron Throne as described in the books? Well, it is not 15 feet high and made out of 10,000 swords because the ceiling in our soundstage was not 15 feet high. They couldn't fit it in there, and they weren't willing to give us St. Paul's Cathedral in Westminster Abbey to shoot our little show. Now, there's there's another quote in here. Where's that quote, Chris? Did I get all the quotes?
There was the quote about like why people want to make it their own. Like that was the one I heard.
Yep.
I haven't read this, so
I skimmed it. Hank, go up a little bit. This is what happens.
You're up.
this is all great stuff. I
On Wins a
mean,
Winner. Oh, for those, hang on. For those hoping for an update of the oft-delayed Sixth Ice and Fire book, Martin offered no definitive timeline. I claim to live for 1,000 years, he said, but I got to finish Wins a Winner. I can't. So, yeah, it's not going to finish this year. It's not going to finish this year. But as far as respecting source material, yes, you have to make some changes, sure, that are practical. But the fact that Gaiman was in there talking, the changes they made in Sandman were not practical. They weren't like trying to fit an Iron Throne into a room. Could you link me that article, by the way, real quick? X-Ray Girl. I could have sworn there was another quote in there, but maybe I was wrong. Maybe I was wrong.
He was criticizing people who want to make something their own.
Yes.
Like, it's not about you. That was the quote I had heard going around, which I thought was great. Like, don't make it your own. Be true to the material. I mean, the physical changes, I get it. 10,000 swords, 15 feet high.
Yeah.
It's still the Iron Throne's still pretty cool looking in the show. And when you see that prop at conventions, everyone wants to sit on it. It's cool.
It is, and they improved a little bit in House of the Dragon, but yes, the throne in the books has way more impact. It's fucking huge. It's giant, and that's the way it's supposed to be because Aegon the Conqueror did collect all those swords, and so they made it like in Game of Thrones. They made it a lie, which kind of makes sense. Like that whole chaos is a ladder. Love that. But that's some of the original stuff that's not in the books that I liked, but not there. Speaking of adaptations, we're getting Tom Bombadil, everybody, in Rings of Power. But back like I'm sure George feels burned. Well, I'm positive he feels burned by the end of Game of Thrones, but it's kind of his fault too. So he can feel burned all he wants. He didn't give them anything to work on. Preston Jacobs, who fucking loves me, by the way, did a video yesterday talking about Feast for Crows and Dance with Dragons being basically George procrastinating. And he's right. Like, if you look for plot points in those two books, it's just world building. It's just world building. As far as progressing the plot, it barely moves. And everybody is waiting for the payoff from A Storm of Swords. Everybody's waiting for retribution for the Red Wedding, right? Which hasn't happened yet. They set up so many things and that have payoffs, and he didn't pay any of them off. And you need to do that in storytelling. Whether you subvert expectations or not, you still need to pay stuff off. But this will not pay anybody off because the worst people imaginable to adapt Tom Bombadil is Amazon and J.D. Payne and Patrick McKay, but they're going to do it. Tom Bombadil finally steps forth in the Rings of Power, an exclusive first look. J.R.R. Tolkien's peculiar Lord of the Rings character, excluded from any other adaptations, comes to life in Amazon series. Is this going to make you watch season 2, everybody? Tom Bombadil, adapted by morons?
I mean, I'll watch it.
Well,
I'll watch it, but God.
Yes, Goldberry will probably be trans, but that's just me. Tom Bombadil has finally been invited on one of a long and winding road trips through Middle-earth. The mystical character is one of the more offbeat figures in J.R.R. Tolkien's The Lord of the Rings saga. A woodland-dwelling man with an ethereal presence and a perchance for nonsense songs and brightly colored clothes, who helps rescue the hobbits from peril, early in the first book. Yes, makes them, they eventually run around naked. The Fellowship of the Ring, as much as he stands apart, his name would likely draw a blank from anyone who hasn't read the novels, since the two primary retellings, Ralph Bakshi's animated 1978 opus and Peter Jackson's award-winning live-action trilogy and the BBC audio drama, have all left him out. And he gets mentioned later in the Council of Elrond, and he's kind of a mysterious figure. He's a lot like Treebeard, so that was behind the decision to choose Treebeard over him in the adaptations, right? As far as character-wise, not like personality-wise and stuff. As far as character-wise, an ancient being that. There aren't a ton of, there's a lot of theories, but there are no definitive answers on incredibly powerful, but aloof, like not connected to the world. And that's where Gandalf says at the Council of Elrond, it's like, why not give the ring to Tom Bombadil? Well, he'd just forget about it. It's not important to him. So both cut him from the narrative completely. Now old Tom, as the books refer to him, is finally getting his big moment in the sun. The Rings of Power, the Amazon Prime Video series based on Tolkien's ancient history is of his fantasy realm, blah, 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 is going to have Tom Bombadil. When in the second season begins in August, Bombadil was described in Tolkien's books as older than the old and a benevolent entity who began life around the time of all life began. So his existence is this earlier era, thousands of years before the events of The Lord of the Rings, fits within the canon established by the author. Does it now? Okay. In a 1937 letter to the publisher mulling a possible sequel to The Hobbit, Tolkien described Bombadil as a spirit of the vanishing Oxford and Berkshire countryside. The author bristled at the notion that he wrote an allegory, but it's clear that he saw Bombadil as nature personified, right up to the character's ambivalence about interfering with the larger world around him. That left showrunners J.D. Payne and Patrick McKay to figure out exactly, oh God.
Oh man.
Exactly how they might, how he might turn up in the show and why. I don't know if I want to continue this.
Yeah, why?
Why?
Garrett? Can you guess as to why he would be in the show? Why is he in the show?
Because they desperately need recognizable characters. I like, they desperately need people like to think Tom Bombadil is gonna be like, that'll bring him back. No, why do they to push an environmentalist message? I fucking don't know. I don't know what their reasoning will be. There's a reason why he hasn't been in prior adaptations, because in some ways he's sort of an anti-dramatic character. Payne tells Vanity Fair for this exclusive first look, I think he would totally fit in an adaptation, by the way, done properly. Without a doubt, because he fits in the fucking book. He's not a character who has a particularly strong agenda. He observes drama, but largely doesn't participate in it, except when he does. There's a point in the book where he does. The Fellowship of the Ring. The characters kind of just go there and hang out for a while, and Tom drops some knowledge on them. Knowledge that's not particularly relevant to anything that they're doing. Oh, jeez. I can't do this anymore. Just get it away.
What? I mean, we know the second season will be a train wreck. It's kind of a foregone conclusion, right? Like, I mean, is there a world where Rings of Power season 2 is good?
No.
Yeah.
No.
I can't see it with the people involved.
You have the same people involved. It goes back to our Furiosa, which is directed by a talented person, but you're still making the same mistakes and expecting different results.
Well, look at the way it's. Sorry. Yeah.
Sorry, you make a movie about Furiosa, which people didn't respond to. You make another one, they're not going to respond to it. If you have the same motherfuckers who wrote shit come out and try to be better, They're still going to put out shit. These are inexperienced guys. They have no credited fucking scripts prior to this. They have a partial credit to Star Trek Beyond, and they openly admitted that they worked on multiple scripts, that their stuff wasn't good enough to get credit for a decade. And somebody decided to give them a TV show. And not just any TV show, the most expensive TV show of all time. What the fuck did you think was going to happen? Sorry, Chris, go ahead.
No, it's just when you look at what they prioritize, right? Which was all the diversity. Remember first season? The big promotional aspect of it was this is Lord of the Rings, but it's diverse.
Yes.
And then second season, what is it? All the directors are women. It's like the DEI of the rings. That's what this is.
Absolutely. And you think, and the exact same people are in charge. Lindsay Weber from Bad Reboot, and she was so bad, they were happy to get rid of her. They were like, Amazon wanted to pluck Lindsay Weber. They're like, oh, by all means, go ahead. Bye-bye.
Oh, God.
Did Wheel of Time season 2 perform well? Not at all. Not at all. It was a fart in the wind. And Rings of Power season 2 will be the same thing. When it first came out, it was culturally relevant because it was fucking up Tolkien's lore from, every possible way. But now they're just like, we expect that. Like, where the fuck's Celeborn? I thought when I first saw Lady Greymaster pop that article in the Discord, and I didn't see it was about Tom Bombadil. I'm like, oh, this is gonna be about Celeborn. And it's like, oh no, it's Tom Bombadil. Fuck. I don't know what else there will be to say. They will screw up more lore. Warrior Galadriel will still be Warrior Guy Ladriel. And if they do bring in Celeborn, it'll be even worse. Like, where the hell has he been for 1,000 years? Where's your daughter, Celebrian? Like, where the fuck? So, I just think it's going to be more bad. We'll find out who the stranger is because they didn't have the rights to the name Gandalf. So they couldn't use the name Gandalf. So they just made a Gandalf-like character that you can't call Gandalf. They don't have the rights to the term Hobbit. So they made up Harfoots, which didn't really exist in the Second Age and weren't part of any larger story. They could have adapted a lot of great stories if they just pinpointed one instead of like, hey, we're going to tell the whole story of the Second Age. Really? And instead of telling it over vast amounts of time because we have human characters, we're going to make thousands of years into 20? Could be shorter. I have no idea. I have no idea about the passage of time in this series. I have no idea what the fuck's going on. They show maps. Things are in the South. Okay, what part of the South? I have no fucking idea. Guy Ladriel didn't look at a map. She was looking for Sauron for 1,000 years, didn't look at a map. So it's just a dumb show. So no, Chris, to answer your question, there's no world where Rings of Power season 2 is good at all. And
the DEI of the rings.
Yes,
picture the logo. Someone's got to make a logo of that. The DEI of the
they do, but will the diversity be better? Now, possibly they might expand on their diversity. They certainly did with what you just mentioned. You know what? I sit corrected. Everything's gonna be fine because every episode is directed by a woman.
I love that that's how they're promoting it. Like, that's who cares? Honestly, who cares? But the fact that that's a thing shows where their priorities are. It's not on telling a good story or an authentic story.
It's what George just mentioned. They wanted to make you spend all that money to get the appendices from the Tolkien estate, who are just looking to cash out because Chris is gone now, one of the greatest sons who ever lived, protecting his father's legacy. I put a quote, I believe it's in my Rings of Power video, of George talking about that. Like, I'd hate, because they were saying, hey, would you license your stuff out? He's all, not while I'm alive, and my wife won't do it. But, there are heirs who don't care, and that's what we're at with the Tolkien estate. Simon's a fucking idiot, and he's the one in charge. He's the one who came up with the idea. Hey, let's tell a Sauron story like Walter White. That comes from Simon Tolkien. So Apple fell really far from the tree down the street into the next district. But no, they don't care. They want to make it their own, and making it diverse is making it their own. It could have been diverse, but see, there's a problem in Hollywood, Chris. This is why you've put so many rules. They put so many rules in their industry that they can't freely write anymore. So if you put the proper diversity that Tolkien put in his own fucking story, it would be problematic because some of them are bad guys. That's why they didn't do it. And it would go, well, that would be pushing the message of the patriarchal colonization, whatever the fuck they want to come up with, whatever DEI rules that are preventing them from properly adapting this. So what they do, why did they hire J.D. Payne and Patrick McKay? Yes men. They're just yes men to do what the executives want to do. This isn't run by them. This show is not run by them. It is run by Jennifer Salk. It is run by the executive producers and the board members of Amazon, and maybe even fucking Jeff Bezos. I don't know. But yeah, that's who the show is produced. It's not created. And that's one of the big problems with Hollywood right now. Your casting directors, instead of hiring them, they have no real power, and they're being noted to death. And they're being noted to death by DEI departments.
Yeah.
Simple.
And Amazon is the worst. That link has been going around where you have those rules coming from HR about casting, even telling of jokes.
Yes.
About different types of people. Like, what are screenwriters supposed to do? It's so annoying. Ugh, hate it.
Well, I mean, go out on their own at this point.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, that strike didn't work out very well for them.
Oh man.
Remember, a show has to be a hit for them to hit their bonus. You know how many shows are going to be a hit? Like they'll have to be monster hits, like undeniable stuff like Fallout, which is a massive hit for Amazon. I didn't like it, but it's a massive hit. But Furiosa is better than Fallout. As far as post-apocalyptic stuff is concerned. Right. But they're going to be, it's not a hit. It wasn't watched enough. You're not going to get your bonus. I mean, like, it's going to be hilarious. That IATSE strike that probably won't happen, but it's still bad. They haven't come to a deal yet, and they have, 10 days? And they'll probably make a deal. They'd be stupid if they didn't make a deal.
For sure.
But if they don't make a deal, Hollywood shuts down again.
We'll see.
Yeah.
We'll see. The IATSE guy that I talked to someone in that guild, said basically what he said was that, they stood by the screenwriters and the actors, right? They were there and they were like, okay, we're good with this. We'll support you. Now it's their turn. They've got to stand by, the below the line people with those jobs. So we'll see if it happens. We'll see. But I think seeing the industry crumble right now, there's got to be an incentive to just make a deal at any cost. Make a deal.
Oh, yeah. IATSE timed it perfectly. They're actually probably going to get a pretty good deal. And I don't like unions, but shit, they timed this perfectly. Like, there's no way Hollywood could shut down right now. No way. It'd be toast. What, we got a trailer to go over there. So what big movies are coming out in the next month? Because I remember you shot me an article.
Oh, dude, it's I'll bring up my list.
Bring up your list, because
or I'll give you the list.
Each tent pole. So, like, for example, in June of last year, there was like 8 major releases. This year, there's going to be 4.
Dude, this Friday, Alan and I are talking like, oh, what are we going to, we review every movie that's in theaters. We do it on Friday. We don't see like Alan will see a movie I don't see, and vice versa. Dude, this Friday, it's slim pickings. There's a Daisy Ridley movie. That's opening.
Whoa. What's that?
Did you even know?
No.
It's called Young Woman and the Sea. The most uninspired title for a movie.
The sea is always right. Sorry, I had to say it.
Dude, I saw the movie. It's god awful. It's god awful, progressive, feminist garbage. And someone decided, hey, just put Daisy Ridley in something. Keep her employed. Like, so that they can make the Star Wars movie, which will never happen.
Who's this guy putting on perfume in the ad?
What's that?
Oh, finally, I got the X.
Oh, there you go.
Been waiting for that.
Look at this. Okay. Ezra, I saw it. Young Woman in the Sea, saw it. I'm going to see In a Violent Nature. Robot Dreams, I've seen. Like,
they're re-releasing Run Lola Run. That's a good movie.
No, I love that movie. Yeah, I'm going to see that.
So this Friday or Thursday, Ezra, Summer Camp, Young Woman and the Sea. Holy shit.
Ezra's like a sweet little indie movie about a comedian whose son is autistic.
Okay.
And he takes him on the road. It's a fine, small indie movie. It should not open wide. It should probably be a streaming film. Young Woman and the Sea. Dude, you should watch the trailer. I saw it. This movie was meant to go, well, just give Daisy Ridley can't carry a movie, can't get hired for anything. So Disney puts her in this biopic about a real story about a woman who swam the English Channel. That's what it's about. And it's, oh God, it's so
Daisy
cringe.
Ridley swimming for 2 hours. I mean,
it's so cringe. And she reminds me of Mark Hamill. I thought Mark Hamill was very good as Luke Skywalker. He can't be in any other movie, in any other character. Cockknocker, maybe.
Cockknocker and voice actor.
Voicing the Joker. But Daisy Ridley, same thing.
And becoming a joke on X Twitter. So
right.
Yeah.
I thought Daisy Ridley was fine as Rey. The writing and everything else, a lot of things with Disney sequels are terrible, but she was not the problem. She was a fine actress.
She's not an action star. She's not. She cannot carry a movie.
She can't. She is going to carry this Rey movie. There's no legacy characters in it.
We'll see if that happens.
Like I saw this movie and I'm like, why did they even put it in theaters?
I thought Rey was supposed to be filming by now.
Oh, that's right. It wasn't it?
Or like next month, it was supposed to start filming.
But sometimes this is what, they would take in actors like, well, let's see how they do. Let's see if they can, let's put them in a romantic comedy. That was the typical, you'd kind of like bring talent up through putting them in small movies that were low risk, low budget. This is one of those movies. And dude, it's bad.
Oh,
I can't wait to talk about it on Friday. I'm making Alan go see it. It's like, I don't want to go see it. Dude, I went through it. You have to go through it. But it's like, it's set in the early 1900s, like 1914, but people are like talking about feminism like it's now.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
It's so bad. Like, why can't a woman swim? And their swimsuits are like these, like neck to toe swimsuits.
That's when things went downhill, when we allowed women to swim.
Oh my God, a woman swimming? It should not be allowed. And it's like, so I'm just like, oh God. And it's so on the nose with everything. Oh, I'm dying. I can't wait for Alan to see it. But, yeah, it's it's just, I'm looking at, this is May 31st and the rest of June is not that great.
Dude, and this is supposed to kick off. Yeah, this is supposed to kick off the summer season, right? Which has been just a dud. And Bad Boys 4, Ride or Die.
Who cares?
Bad Boys 3 did relatively well, and it was during COVID, right? So it was one of the few movies that did relatively well. So I understand why it got a sequel. I completely understand. And Will Smith needs to do something. You know what he needed to do? Be humble. If he went out there and was humble and just went, hey, had a bad day, just showed some humility.
That's freaking Russell Crowe is in that movie. Hitman, is that that based on a video game? I don't know. In and Out, Inside Out.
Yeah, I don't know. I saw a trailer and I completely forgot it. The Watchers.
Good.
Bike Riders does look good.
Yeah, that looks
It
good.
looks like a S.E. Hinton novel.
Yeah.
Yeah. Scroll up.
Um,
No, stop scrolling. Hang on. You're going too fast, X-Ray Girl. Okay. June 4th. Pixar's Inside Out 2. So that's like the next big one that they're thinking is going to make a bunch of money. And it might. I don't know. I'm not going to see it.
Yeah.
I don't care. And I'm trying to look. Treasure Tuesday, Ultraman Rising.
Oh, it's bad. It's like for little kids.
Yes.
And I like Ultraman. And
Yeah. It's the only
like
thing I
for little
recognized.
kids. Yeah, I saw the trailer. Nope.
So the bike riders. So in June we have scroll up a little bit. Let's get the back to June 1st. Other direction.
Yeah.
So we have Am I Okay? Bad Boys 4.
The Watchers.
The Watchers. Pixar's Inside Out 2. You can keep scrolling down. The Bike Riders. Horizon. Okay. So we got 2 movies here that might be worth kind of watching. But would you want to hinge your summer on either of these?
Yeah.
A Quiet Place Day 1, another fucking prequel. Fuck prequels. Prequels should be illegal. Yeah, including Furiosa. We don't need fucking prequels. That's another excuse you could throw up there too. People are prequeled out. I blame George Lucas, by the way, for prequels. For the whole fucking prequel thing. I blame George. Horizon, an American Saga. Getting torched by critics. Pretty ambitious. It's going to be 4 parts, all released in theaters. And the first 2 relatively close. It's a Western, so of course I'm going to watch it. It's a Western. I love Westerns. Kevin Costner sacrificed the final half of the final season of one of the biggest shows on television for this. Hope it doesn't flop, because there'll be a lot of, maybe you should have had Taylor Sheridan write this. Yeah, I'm going to see it. I'm interested. And I'd love to see the Western come back. That'd be fucking great. That'd be great. Did you see the trailer? What do you think of Horizon, Chris? Do you care?
I did not see the trailer, but
Trailer's
everything
pretty good.
I've heard is mixed.
Super
It's
mixed.
weird.
Yeah.
Like really great and then not so great. But so I don't trust it. I like Kevin Costner, so he's pretty based, honestly.
Sometimes.
Yes.
Not on other things. But
he has to play the game. So.
Yeah. Well, so is Taylor Sheridan. Taylor Sheridan definitely put some woke elements in, particularly in the Yellowstone series, which I'm finally watching, and I enjoy it, except for the fucking teacher, man. The Native American girl teacher going to the university, and just I fast forward, though, I'm like, Jesus Christ, these scenes are fucking terrible, and they just, they're put in there for TEI. But once they get back to Rip and killing people, I'm fine. But actually, the prequels are better. I think the 2 prequels are better. But yeah, I'd like to see a good Western. I would. A Quiet Place, Day 1. I have no interest in that whatsoever. Yeah. Despicable Me 4. So that's probably the first one. I think that'll do better than Inside Out 2. Yep. But we're talking about 2 kid animated movies.
Right.
And then Beverly Hills Cop, Axel Foley is going to be on Netflix. Which
cares? Why is it called that? It should be called Beverly Hills Cop AF.
That's pretty good. I like that.
Yeah. Why? It's so obvious.
I don't know. What'd you think of the trailer for that?
It's okay.
It's okay.
It's too late.
We're talking. Yeah. We're olds, right?
Yeah.
And I love, if they did it right, I think there's just a certain amount of time where you go back to a franchise. I think 40 years is kind of the limit. I think it's kind of the limit. We're talking almost half a century, right? Maybe try something new. I don't know. Boneyard is July. Maxine. See a lot of trailers for Maxine.
Ooh, it looks good. It's a decent horror. I can't wait.
Yep. So Twisters, a sequel to a movie that never needed a fucking sequel.
I know. They're really pushing that. And then Deadpool after that.
I mean, people in the Midwest will just go, I just go fucking outside if I want to see twisters, especially yesterday. Holy shit. We drove through the tail end of what went over Texas, and it was fucking bad. Like people were, we kept getting alerts, right? Like, we went through a dust storm, right? Which wasn't bad. I've been through worse dust storms, like much worse dust storms, but it was there. And then there was, baseball size hail's coming. So everybody stopped under the bridges. Like we're in the middle of fucking nowhere, West Texas, and everybody's stopping under the bridges. But then I looked at my phone. I'm like, well, the warning's over. Let's just fucking go. Because I looked at it, I'm like, it's light. So let's just drive. So we drove. But it was bad. It was really fucking bad. But I guess Garrett's house, he lost a tree. The hail was coming like sideways. Ripple lost power. Kara lost power. I think I saw Melanie Mack talking about losing power. It was like gnarly in Dallas yesterday. Fucking gnarly. Yeah. In other words, they could just go outside if you're in the Midwest to see twisters too.
Well, I'm glad I'm in California.
Yep. Yep. Yeah, you know what? The weather in your prison is beautiful.
Yeah, it's the only thing that's good. Everything else is a train wreck, fentanyl zombie hellscape.
Wait, when you're inside, that beautiful weather, you can't enjoy it because you can't go outside. Beverly Hills, folks. Chris mentioned this before, but I drove by and I saw it. Beverly Hills has tent cities.
And the biggest stores, they're all closing.
Yes.
Like now the videos I see on YouTube are like people driving down streets where it's all closed. Did you see Benny Johnson did a video where he went to the Westfield Mall in San Francisco?
Yes.
I used to go to that mall. I would go to the Metreon and see movies. I'd go to San Francisco once or twice a year.
I went there all the time.
For fun. The Metreon, it was so cool. Like this whole area. They had a Sony store. You'd go in and when we go to WonderCon, it was great. It was a little vacation.
No, there was the Sony store in the bottom. There was the theater, right? There was Where the Wild Things Are on the top row where you could take your kids, and they had Where the Wild Things Are. Like it was fucking cool. And I took my kids there. When Spider-Man opened, Spider-Man 2 opened, they had a giant inflatable Spider-Man on the side of the building that was like 3 stories high. It was happening down there. Right across the street is Mel's Diner, which is based on the Mel's Diner from American Graffiti. You had FAO Schwartz. You had the Virgin Megastore. You had the Westfield Mall. It was fucking awesome. You could hang down there. And then during WonderCon, we go to all those places.
Yep.
All gone now.
It's all gone. And Benny you can find the video. He just goes in the mall, whole floors closed.
Yep.
It's the saddest. It's like the original Dawn of the Dead from George Romero. It's a dead mall.
I think it's a great case study for human nature, right? The people who are still there, the people who are like hanging out in San Francisco and think, and this could be said for industries like Hollywood, people who are still there just like things will turn around, and all around them, it's done. The term doom loop was created for San Francisco and what it's in.
I was up in San Francisco years ago for a conference about, tech and fundraising, whatever. And one of the things that one of the tech people talked about was, and I think this is why big tech comes in and ruins everything.
Yes. And there were people who were alarmist about this back in the day. I remember hearing it like, this is going to ruin everything.
And she talked about the economic disparity. Like people in big tech make a lot of money, but then they can't get people, give them a living wage to work at restaurants, to be teachers, to be these jobs that keep society functioning. They don't make enough money to just live in San Francisco. So they can't get basic services. So all the super wealthy are fine and no one else can survive. And this is what happens when you have such a huge gap, that huge gap of the super rich and then people that are there's no middle class. You can't be middle class in San Francisco. It doesn't exist.
they don't want middle class, and they being the current political structures of these giant blue cities and blue states, not to get super political, but it's just a fucking fact. You know, our good friend Robert Meyer Burnett was talking to, tweeted about, or ex-Twitter, about Seattle turning into such a shithole when it was pretty clean city. Pretty clean city. Yeah. It's one party rule with no opposition, no balance, and they get whatever they want. And now they've gotten whatever they want, and they want to destroy the middle class. This is what happens. COVID broke everything. You know, we're driving around the country, you know, Southwest. America hasn't recovered from COVID and never will. What sucks for the current generation is they might not realize until much later in life. I did. I was old enough to live through 9/11 and other things, which aren't as bad as what generations before me had lived through, but it's just what I have. I knew, like, when 9/11 happened and they shut down the airports just for a couple of days, I'm like, America's changing forever because of this. Like, I'm going to live in a different America after this. There's pre 9/11, post 9/11. Now there's pre-COVID and post-COVID. And 9/11 was just the Patriot Act and shit. This was post-COVID is way worse. You printed a bunch of money. You incentivized people to not go to work. And guess what? They're still not going to work. But now they're finding out, now they're demanding more money at McDonald's, and they're finding that more money is worth less because you printed a bunch of money. And a bunch of people were saying, hey, this is probably not a fucking good idea. This is not a good idea to mandate shit, to make people take an experimental thing and to not work and to keep people shut down and to keep kids out of school, to keep people out of gyms. But you kept these, these were all fucking horrible ideas that were going to have massive repercussions for generations to come. Not just, we'll get it back in a couple of years. Things will get back going. Really? Do things feel like they're going? I mean, goddamn, we lost 24-hour Walmarts to fucking COVID. That's a fucking crime. By the way, for one, we lost all the weird people who go there and all the great videos. But, I like to go to the Walmart in the middle of the night, maybe. I want that option. We lost 24-hour grocery stores. But we also lost a generation of people with the willing to fucking work, and now, like, why should they? So it's hard finding good service. Hotels are I've gone to a lot of hotels in my travels, and they're just different. It's different than it was a couple of years ago. The service isn't as good, and I'm not going to get on their ass because, like, I'm grateful somebody's there working. And they're not, it's not their fault. They're generally pretty nice. We don't want to be like Ryan and fucking bitch everybody out at a Taco Bell, right? Yeah. You should be happy there are people at Taco Bell willing to fucking work. But I'm just kind of kidding with Ryan, just kind of. But no, that's what every system is broken down, and it's not going to get back. So this is an opportunity to create something different and change some shit. I don't even know how the results turned out, and I don't know how I got down this rabbit hole. Did Brandon Herrera win? It was so fucking close. For Texas Congressional District 23, the AK guy, a YouTuber, Brandon Herrera, was up against an establishment candidate, a Republican, a rhino named Tony Gonzalez. And it was, dude, the difference was 300 votes last time I checked. Whoa. 300 votes. I don't know. Tell me in the chat if he won or not. I even if he didn't, it's fucking amazing that Tony Gonzalez spent like $10 million on his campaign and Brandon Herrera didn't spend that much. Like a tenth of it, like maybe $1 million. So it looks like Brandon lost. I say recount. He lost by 400 votes.
Voting matters.
Voting matters. Weird. And there's a bunch of low information people who just fucking, geez, Gary, what? I went to bed last night. I saw, but yeah, it's great that he got it that close. But that this is how things, stay the same. Low information voters, low information stock shareholders. Well, I was going back to San Francisco, as those people staying in San Francisco for what? An empty city? Like, Mel and I recognized it pretty earlier. It's like, oh, this is going to shit. Bye. Yeah. It's like there's a point where you fight and there's a point where you go, nah, it's not worth it. See ya.
Oh, I'd like to point out July 19th that.
Oh, put that back up. Actually, girl. I was going to get back.
July 19th, Skywalker's A Love Story is a documentary about like people that, are on like those Yeah, it's not what you think it is. It's not about Luke Skywalker.
What's it about?
It's a documentary about people that, go on those wires between buildings.
Oh, okay. Okay.
What is that? My brain's not working.
Tightrope walkers.
Tightrope walkers.
Yeah.
It's about so they call it Skywalkers.
Oh, they did that for they did that for a little clickbait.
I'm sure it's a very good doc, but yeah, it's fine. Yeah. So this lineup for June
Scroll
and even
up
in
a little
early
bit
July
to July
is
25th.
Until you get to Deadpool, this is
dead. Is so dead. And then let's go after Deadpool. Okay.
August has nothing.
So Deadpool
nothing.
Wolverine makes $1 bazillion. Okay.
Yeah.
Then afterwards we've got Cuckoo, Kneecap, Harold and the Purple Crayon.
I've seen that trailer. Looks so bad.
Borderlands, which looks terrible.
Yeah.
It ends with Us. Shyamalan's Shyamalan Trap.
I like M. Night Shyamalan. Guilty pleasure. He makes Twilight Zone episodes into movies. I'll go see his films. They're hit and miss. So there you go.
Oh, Trap. So that's the one where the hitman takes his daughter to the.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. The trailer, it looked really interesting. So.
Well, the twist will be he's not the murderer.
Maybe
he's not the hitman.
I like Coraline. Speaking of
Coraline re-release, yeah.
I like
Alien Romulus.
Yeah.
So after Deadpool, it's Alien Romulus, which will probably do pretty well. It's from the director who did that Evil Dead remake from 2013, which was pretty good.
Good.
But there's no Evil Dead without Ash. Just there isn't. There's another Mad Max argument right there. You can make a decent horror movie and call it Evil Dead, but it's not fucking Evil Dead. Okay. It's not without Ash, baby. If you haven't seen Ash versus Evil Dead, by the way, my kid has gone down the Evil Dead rabbit hole and just freaking loves them, loves Sam Raimi now. So another win as a dad. And now we're going to embark on Ash versus Evil Dead. So I'm going to be watching it with my kid. One of the greatest shows ever made, period.
I have not seen it.
Oh,
I missed it somehow.
Season 1 and 2 in particular are fucking top notch.
Is it on the streaming service?
It's on. It was on Showtime. I don't know what it's on now.
I'll look for it. I'll find it.
It's on Physical Media, Chris. You can buy the Blu-ray complete season. Actually, there. God, Shout Factory. Love
Shout Factory.
Who's the horror one? Is it Shout Factory?
Shout Factory. Yeah, they put out like classic stuff.
So they don't have Army of Darkness, but there is a box set that's fucking awesome that has Evil Dead, Evil Dead 2, and the complete series of Ash versus Evil Dead.
Oh,
in a beautiful box set. It's great. It's great.
Nice.
Hellraiser is not better than Evil Dead. Hellraiser is cool though, but it's not better than Evil Dead. That's just my personal opinion though. Wow, there's fucking nothing. Blink twice.
Crow.
Oh, the Crow. Oh.
That's gonna be terrible.
Oh.
We know it'll be terrible. Not looking forward to it.
It looks fucking awful. Go. The Crow just came out in 4K for its 30th anniversary. Just watch that. Okay. Just watch The Crow, the real Crow with Brandon Lee, if you haven't seen it, or watch it again. Let's go down August. There's nothing. Beetlejuice. Okay. If you're not going to release Beetlejuice in summer, Chris, where it would have done better, why not release it around Halloween? Why in September? I don't get that. Because that actually looks like decent, right?
It looks fine. Check the boxes. Michael Keaton is in it.
Yes. Tim Burton's directing it.
Yeah, it's like they got all the pieces in place.
Yeah. I like the last trailer. That was fine.
Yeah.
The Christopher Reeve story, I'll be seeing that for sure. Transformers 1 looks terrible. Let's go down.
You
Joker.
heard about what Beetlejuice is about, right?
No.
Someone pointed out that in the first Beetlejuice, when he's gonna marry her, he gets the ring and there's a finger on the ring, and Beetlejuice says, "She meant nothing to me." Well, when you see one
Oh.
of the characters in it is missing a finger.
It's Monica Bellucci,
Yeah.
the hot French chick.
So she's back. And
That's awesome. I like that.
Yeah,
Well, it's got Willem Dafoe in it too. So there's, I mean, like, yeah.
It could be good. It could be good.
It doesn't have Alec Baldwin in it. So that's good. So we got
probably good choice.
Actually, October looks better than August.
Right. Joker, Terrifier 3, that'll be
and Venom. I'm just like
and Venom, yeah.
We haven't even seen a trailer for Venom.
Yeah.
Isn't that weird?
Yes.
Wait,
might as well go November.
So go to November.
Wicked. Oh God. Gladiator 2.
Gladiator 2.
Why? And Moana 2. Same weekend.
Can't wait for Passion of the Christ 2. Titanic 2.
Craven the Hunter, December 13th.
Yeah, they moved it because Sony believes people will watch it again and again. And they moved it to the same weekend as The War of the Rohirrim, which is one of the movies I'm actually looking forward to. Mufasa is going to bomb. Sonic the Hedgehog will beat it. And Nosferatu on Christmas Day. Why? And that's Robert Eggers. That's good. I can't wait to see this one. But you... Oh.
No, I saw...
You saw it. Can you say it?
I saw Nosferatu.
Yeah.
It's very good. But it's different. It's a different take. And guess what the movie doesn't have? Yes. It's not
female
not
lead, strong female lead.
No. Well, a female lead, but she's not strong per se. Strong in a female way. Let's say that.
Okay.
But it's not very diverse.
Uh-oh.
It's about as diverse as
the Northmen.
Yeah, it's about as diverse as that. He's actually true to the material. Yeah, doesn't give any F's.
Good for him. So, Northman is fantastic, by the way. Love it.
Well, I'm just my
surreal mythology told well.
My fear is they're gonna make changes because I snuck into a test screening.
Uh-oh.
To say that. So I've seen it.
Yeah,
finished movie is.
The Canadian Zeus says the War of the Rohirrim sounds like it might be a bait and switch. I heard that too, and I will fucking hate it if it is.
Yeah.
I will hate it if it is, but we will wait. We haven't seen there. I think we're gonna get a trailer pretty soon. Yeah. Hey, you want to watch a trailer?
Let's do
a Disney movie I have no desire to ever see. I didn't see the first. Wait, no, did I see the first one? No, I'm mixing it up with Lilo and Stitch.
I saw Moana. It was.
I didn't see Moana.
Not for me. It was whatever. I saw it once. So. It's a teaser.
Let's go.
There's a cursor in the movie.
I was going to say cankles.
There's a cursor.
A cursor?
Yeah, in the middle.
From the ancestors to sail to new skies and reconnect our people across the entire ocean.
Boat snack upgrade. Bacon and eggs? Why didn't you bring the pig last time?
Wow.
I don't care.
I'm really
To be clear,
apathetic.
this here you go. You know that Wish was a disaster,
Yes.
right? And all the, it was so funny. Alan's Instagram account, he went to Disneyland, all the Wish stuff, orange stickers, 50% off.
I am
trying to
shocked.
get rid of Wish.
I am
Yeah.
shocked.
And Moana 2 was a series for Disney Plus. And they scrambled and said, we don't have anything for fall. Make Moana a movie. Forget the series. So they scrapped the series and they are cobbling this together into
No.
a
Whoa.
movie.
Hold the phone. Hold the phone.
What?
They did the animation already? They made
Yes.
that. Oh, shit.
So they're, turning, it's going to probably feel very episodic, but they're cobbling together what was a planned series by their Canadian group into a movie for the fall because they didn't have anything. So there you go. Yay. Plus Mufasa. Yay.
Holy shit. So they took a series and they're cutting it down into a movie
Yeah.
that they've already animated. That's going to
Yeah.
go well.
Can I prescribe Maid?
What was
Is
that?
that?
Can I prescribe some Maid for the show?
Yeah.
I think what a disaster. I was told that they were gonna Bob Iger was gonna push out more quality over quantity.
No, it's scrambling to have anything.
Oh, okay. You
So
mean
they got
Bob Iger
Mufasa-
lied?
Right. So they got Mufasa and this. I mean, this is a terrible era for Disney. I mean, that's not shocking to say, but it reminds me of when my kids were young, and they were little kids in the 90s, and all those terrible Disney sequels came out on VHS.
Yeah.
They'd be at the grocery store.
But
You'd sit there, Cinderella 2, Lion King 2,
Cinderella.
Land
2.
Before Time 5.
Cinderella.
That's not
2.
Disney, but they were just these.
But people
god-awful-
actually like Lion King 2, like people liked it. I remember people like I didn't watch it, nor will I
It was
ever.
on VHS.
It was on
Direct to
VHS?
video,
Yeah.
direct to video.
So the guy who used to reproduce those VHS covers, the art, was one of my customers at the Comic Outpost.
Oh wow.
Yeah. So he talked to he's a big old gay queen. So he's Gary, these movies are terrible, but they certainly pay the checks. And he was always on like a Valium and drinking a beer, and he bought enough comic books. He was like a whale customer, right? So he bought like $400 to $500 worth of comic books a week. So the only thing he asks is I deliver him. So I'll deliver him. And he'd, want to talk to me for a little while, and he'd always have his cigarette and his fucking beer, and he's like, I just took a Valium. I feel great, Gary.
Oh my.
I'm just doing this art. It's garbage, but it pays the bills.
But that era, they put out, which were objectively terrible movies.
Yes.
But for a market that then they could move units. It's literally an accountant going, well, Lion King on VHS made this, and we'll make, maybe half of that with the sequel on VHS, maybe even better. It was just it was printing money, and the quality was low, but there was no expectation that the quality would be high. Now that low quality is a theatrical movie. That's where we're at. Like, oh God. And then they kill all these revenue streams, right? I mean, physical media, like I still buy physical media.
Yeah, I do too.
Yeah. In fact, here's what I got recently.
What'd you get?
A movie no one remembers, The Mysterians, an old Toho movie. This I got, I'm not going to say
I don't remember that movie.
It's a old Japanese Toho science fiction movie, but I may have gotten it from a website called Sloppy Seconds.
That's great.
Sloppy Seconds Blu-rays. You might want to look it up. I get a box of Toho movies.
That is
and
awesome.
I got RRR on Blu-ray, the Hindi version. Or no, excuse me, the Telugu version. So I've been going nuts.
Is
buying
RRR in
these.
4K?
It's not 4K, but Blu-ray at least.
Dude,
So,
where in the fuck is Godzilla -1?
November, I'm told.
November.
It's out in Japan. It's out in Japan. I've seen pictures.
There's no
of the
subtitles though. I don't
I've
speak
seen
Japanese.
pictures- No subtitles, but I've seen pictures of the box set.
Oh,
It looks glorious.
I got my soundtrack. I got my vinyl soundtrack on blue vinyl. It's fucking great.
Did you buy it from Godzilla.com?
I did.
Oh, I love it.
I did.
love it. But I'm hearing November for the 4K in English.
God. Well, I mean,
but isn't that okay? What's really cool? It's not around. It's not on streaming. It's just, and people are gonna like rather than Fall Guy, 19 days. 19 days after it came to theaters, it was on VOD.
that's ridiculous.
Well, that's if something bombs, they just we gotta scramble.
We got a
gotta
dead
make
summer,
money.
and they're not putting Beverly Hills Cop 4 Axel F in theaters. And Netflix was just like, F that. And I know that upsets a lot of people. Maybe it should. The theaters should be bummed. They should be really bummed. But like, I don't think you can get pissed off at Netflix. I think you can get pissed off at all the unions and Hollywood making a bunch of crap. I mean, that's pretty much it.
Well, it's just sad because I love the movie theater. I'll go see something bad like Young Woman and the Sea. What a terrible name for a movie. It's about a real person. It's about a real person. And I watch that and I go like, I'd like to see a documentary about the real event because they show real footage at the end of the movie, but the movie is terrible. It's a streaming bad film.
I think
uninspired. That's every title for every Disney movie is really uninspired.
Yes.
Young Woman.
It's all marketing and
it's like Blue Whale of the Rocky.
Yeah.
It's just stupid. It's like Slurpo. And
Schlurpo would be better.
Slurpo thing.
A motion picture. Schlurpo.
It's so pathetic. So pathetic.
It is. And I think, House of the Dragon, if it doesn't shit the bed for season 2, will be the biggest thing of the summer. Will be the biggest hit of the summer.
Yeah.
If it keeps the pace from season 1, keeps the quality from season 1, and knowing what's going to happen, do not miss episode 1. Do not look up spoilers anywhere. Okay. Just be there on June 16th when the first episode, they'll hit the ground running, and I think it'll be the biggest hit of the summer by far. The only thing decent coming out. And maybe streaming will have better stuff because hey, go on vacation, go outside. Hey, do what Shooty Gatwa says. Touch some grass.
How's Doctor Who doing?
Oh, pretty shitty. They had their best ratings of overnight ratings of the season last week on an episode that I did not watch, will not watch, not give a flying fuck about because I don't care anymore. It's just making the same mistakes. It was called 73, and I guess the doctor wasn't in the whole episode, so it got the best. It got the best ratings, which was only 2.62 million over the previous best 2.6 million. The 7-day ratings from Moffat's episode, the last episode of New Who I will watch ever. And I've watched every episode of Doctor Who that exists, by the way. Did 3 million, a little under 3.5 million. So Moffat didn't save them, and it's just going to go down. I predict the overnight ratings will dip below 2 million at one point. We're halfway through the season, but yeah, nobody cares anymore. The conversation is over by the time the series ends, and I've heard all kinds of rumors. Doesn't matter. It'll be Star Trek Discovery, which nobody talks about because Star Trek Discovery in a normal world would have been canceled after season 2, maybe season 3. They wouldn't even have tried this reboot with Doctor Who in a normal business world. But we're not in that anymore. And profit isn't the entire motivation here. It's just put stuff on streaming. And like that's a holdover from 2 years ago. Like that's not working. Streaming has failed almost everybody. You know what shows are doing well? Shows that don't cost very much. You know what shows doing really well? I'm not going to shut up about this. And I'm bringing back tomorrow night, 8 p.m. If you remember, I'm starting the watch party. Sorry, it's so late. Clarkson's Farm season 3. Best fucking show. And that was the best season of the best show on TV by far. Clarkson's Farm season 3. So if you want to see something good and wholesome and fun, watch an old English guy navigate the politics of England and try to, he brings pigs on this year. It's kind of a disaster at first, as everything is with Jeremy Clarkson. But yeah, that's a great show. Great show. See, everybody loves that. I have not heard a person see that show and go, it sucks.
Here's my fear. I'm going to watch it and love it and then go down that rabbit hole.
What's wrong with that?
I got to go because I only have so much time. I have to go see Young Woman in the Sea.
Fuck Young Woman in the Sea. Set a day aside. Make yourself some food, maybe some beans and toast, like get in the mood, right? and watch 3 seasons of Clarkson's Farm. Fuck that movie. You don't need that movie. And then you could talk about Clarkson's Farm on Film Threat.
Right. Is it it's on Amazon?
It's on Amazon Prime. And it will be watched by more people. It was watched by more people in the UK than The Rings of Power. Tolkien's home country. Some 64-year-old British dude who was named sexiest man in the UK 2 years running, by the way. Just want to point that out. So, that's my hat, dude. Chris, after I watch, my palate cleanser is Clarkson Farm. So if I watch like some shitty TV show, I watch like 2 or 3 episodes of Clarkson's Farm. Balances life out.
It's like a reality show, right? Like,
It is. So you've watched Top Gear, right? You know what Top Gear is?
Yeah.
And Grand Tour. Right. So it's one of the hosts from those show, and it's done the same way. Jeremy Clarkson basically was getting ready to retire from the Grand Tour anyway. The guy who was taking care of his farm took off, and they're like, hey, I'm going to start farming. I don't know anything about it. So it's watching this novice like navigate farming. And what you find out is what little money they make, how important they are to a society, and how much they get fucked over and how much they rely on taxpayer money to even survive. And if they didn't have grants and tax breaks, and it's a lot different than it is here in America. The farmers go through shit here in America, but not as much as they do in the UK. And you see like how much shit they have to go through to keep us fed. It's pretty incredible. And then he's got to deal with the town council, and he can't like fucking dig a road on his own property without getting permission. It's fucking ridiculous. It's un-American, I tell you. No, but it's really good. It's really good. Do they set up scenes? Probably. Sure. Yes. But there's other stuff that happens naturally it's fucking hilarious too. It's funny. It's like legit funny.
All reality TV is produced.
Yes.
They have story producers who but they find things organically and whatever, and then the personalities drive the shows.
Yep.
Yeah.
So cannot recommend it enough. Mahler said it's the best season.
High praise.
Mahler says, yep. Pretty sure Drinker's seen it. And it's Carolyn from the Rippaverse.
Loves it.
Uh-huh.
She loves it. I will not shut up about this show. Like if you want some people talk about something good, okay. Clarkson's Farm season 3 will make you happy. For one, it's just the British countryside is like some of the most beautiful country in the world. And you get a lot of good, it's just a happy place. That's all it is. Yeah, sure. I'm getting old. It's kind of old man porn, old dad porn.
Like World War II documentaries?
No regrets. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
All right, let's get to the soups. Shall we get to the soups?
Let's do it.
What do you got coming up?
I'm gonna go grab coffee though.
Go grab some coffee,
Also,
and then
okay, I'll be right back.
and I'll tell you what I got coming up tomorrow. So I'm going to be working with Paranormal X again and it's kind of a Paranormal X Forbidden Frontier little special, and they have a paranormal site. They're working on a comic book, and I'm just helping them out a little bit. So I'm going to be interviewing performer, filmmaker, and podcast producer Michael May tomorrow of the study of the strange. And we're going to talk about some paranormal stuff, which I like to do, which I didn't get to do last Sunday. So I'll be back to it again. As you may or may not know, we got a Rumble deal going on. It's not going to change anything on this channel. Not going to change any of the obligations or anything. You're just getting more stuff. So Forbidden Frontier is going to be, I have to get clarification, but it's going to be on Rumble so we can talk more freely about other stuff that we've been like really holding back on. And when we're pretty tame on that show, wouldn't you say, X-Ray Girl? Pretty tame?
Absolutely. But we get demonetized.
Most of the
heck.
episodes get demonetized, like 90% of them. So fuck that. We're going to go over the Rumble so we can speak freely and start getting really down some rabbit holes. And we'll have the regular guests and stuff like that. We're going to have the Nerdrotic Nooner on Monday. Will just be me. Returns on Rumble. It'll just be me. It's going to be actually at 10 in the morning, so it'll be noon somewhere. But yeah, that'll be on Rumble. And then we're going to have a bonus uncensored FNT hour.
That will be wild.
That will be wild. That will be wild. We still have to discuss. It was supposed to start like next week, but I need more time. So I need to talk to Rumble. It's like, let's start July. That's what I'm shooting for. That's what I'm shooting for is July. Might be sooner though, because Rumble says we need it sooner. But I'll at least want a couple weeks. But I'll let you guys know. Full transparency, all that stuff. And again, member stream tomorrow night, 8 p.m. And I'm going to go over the whole season. So we're going to do a couple episodes at a time. And it'll be kind of random. So I'll give you guys like a week notice. But I start Thursday at 8 for Clarkson's Farm. And a new thing is when I review a TV show, good or bad, there'll be watch parties on the member stream. So we will be doing Acolyte on Tuesday, June 4th. Join me for the Acolyte. That'll be fun. The last bad one we did, I think, was either Rebel Moon or Echo. I can't remember.
I think it was Echo.
Yeah, I lost my mind towards the end of Echo. I did. When she when she amassed all the powers of all the women, I lost my shit. I was just like, oh my God. Now I understand why they wanted to cancel it. All right. Magnum Norse for $100. Do I look burnt out? I feel refreshed. X-Ray Girl, do I look burnt out? I'm just old.
You look fine to me. You don't look burnt out.
Gary looks as burnt out Gandalf. Oh, wait. Chris Gore looks like he just had a stroke. God damn, I love this magnificent bastards. Thank you. I feel completely re-energized from going on a vacation, going where my son wanted to go, and we toured like touristy America, like real America. Like Tombstone is a tourist trap, like 100% a tourist trap, and it's fucking cool. But it's not corporate, right? So I'm wearing my Balrog shirt, and it says "I am Demon" on the back, Chris. So I'm going through this guy's like it's like a thrift store, right? We're looking at all the old shit in there. And the guy just starts talking to me about ninth dimension demons. I'm like, what the fuck? He's all, I thought, is he joking? He's all, no, I've murdered a lot of demons from the ninth dimension in here. And the thing is, though, he's all, they don't live linearly. So you murder them in their time, but they're still alive in another time and they come back. But I've murdered a lot of them, and we started getting into string theory, and I just rolled with the I just rolled with it. I'm like, yeah. Tell me about these ninth dimension demons you've killed. So it's not corporate. It's a bunch of weirdo desert people running these tourist trap places. It's fucking rad. I love it. That's like real America. That's real America. But yeah, chatted up some guy about Ninth Dimension. I was like, where's the potbelly goblins? Where's Alex Jones?
Oh my God.
It was great. It was great. I loved it. I had so much fun. Ministry of Wrong Thing. By the way, somebody just wanted to mention that you look like you had a stroke. I just wanted to point that out, Chris.
How? I
The beard.
It's so funny. This weekend I went with some friends to Santa Anita Race Park, and it was two friends of mine who both had strokes, and all we did was like old man, like, oh, what was your stroke? Whatever.
The Stroke
And
Brothers.
The Stroke Bros. Oh my God.
literally 3 of us all had strokes. And
Oh.
they were telling me, oh, this is what happens.
Oh
so
no.
Oh,
I know it was funny.
I know our friend Mahler is trying to plan something. I can't say what it is, but I know you're missing. You couldn't make one date because you're going to wrestle a Mexican.
Well, no. I misinterpreted that. I sent you Lucha Vavoom, which is tonight.
So you're going to that's tonight. So you're going to the is that like Lucha Libre?
Lucha
Kind of?
Vavoom, Lucha
Are you
Libre,
fighting?
and burlesque
See,
dancers. You should show the graphic.
You
Show
should
the
fight
graphic.
and be El Stroco.
El Stroco. El Stroco. Which I don't know what that
No,
is.
I know what you're talking about. That sounds fun as hell, and I would go
No,
if
it's
I
so
was
fun,
there.
But I didn't want to promise. Mahler's like trying to plan.
Don't say what it
something.
is
I'm
though.
like-
Yeah, can't
And
say
I'm
what
like,
it is. Yeah.
I'm busy most evenings. Like I'm out. I'm not, so it's hard for me, but and I'm like, don't work. So he's being very accommodating.
He is being he's awesome. Mahler's awesome, and
Yeah.
we'll make it happen because it'll be really fun.
Okay.
We'll make, but we can't say what it is. Ministry of Wrong Thing for 1999 says, why does Chris Gore look like Alec Baldwin after a shoot?
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Welcome
what I
back,
look-
Chris. Welcome back. Smooth the DJ has gifted 5 Nerdrotic memberships with $25. Thank you very much. Thanks, Smooth. Joshua Trammell for 1999. Gary, have you seen the Horizon trailer? I have, and I didn't hate it. I'm down. I'm gonna watch it. I'm going.
Oh, I haven't seen the trailer.
It's out. It's
I'll check it out.
it's like your basic Western trailer. The criticism I heard is it introduces too many characters because it's part 1 of 4. So it's going to be 4 movies. He's filming the 3rd right now. So I think you get the other 2 next year. And screw it. I'm gonna watch it. It's a Western.
Yeah.
It's a fucking Western. Spencer Holmes for $27.99 Canadian. The mark of a good artist is one that can accept criticism. I mean, they have the humility to improve, sans humility. Hollywood will never do that. Yeah, I mean, like, nobody loves to hear all criticism, but like, you just got to roll with it. And that's the most surprising thing about Hollywood, Chris, because you can't be a pussy to make it in that town. You get rejected, and the form of rejection is fucking horrible. It's pretty horrible. So you make it to a certain point, and then you get sensitive. Now, artists are sensitive people too, so they deal with it in different ways, obviously, right? But it's like being on the internet. You just like be prepared. Be prepared. The internet ain't for everybody. But it just depends on how you're raised. See, back in the old days, let's talk about writers specifically. They did shit. They fought in wars.
Yeah.
They had jobs. They worked their way up. So they could handle, they would go, well, this guy's criticizing my writing, but I'm writing for a living. So fuck, that's awesome. I'm not fighting in a war right now or working in a factory. I'm writing for a living. So, it's balancing out that gratitude, right? People are going to say what they're going to say. And some of it's like legit, Some of it's legit and some of it is just like, you suck. Okay, thanks. Not the first time I heard it. What's this? Yeth no? Yeth
Yeah. With
now.
the list.
Yeth
Left
now.
no. Left no.
Yeth no. In 3 parts for $30 says lisp my name, Gary. Yeth no. Gary, about Spider-Man 3 novelization being better than the movie, Peter David, a favorite writer, said this at DragonCon. He never He never copied and pasted the script into a novel form. No, he didn't. No, he doesn't. He's I've read multiple. Peter David is one of the better movie novelizationists out there. I don't know if that's a term. I just made it up. And yes, the Spider-Man 3 novel and the Revenge of the Sith novel are both far superior to the films. Far superior. Like Revenge of the Sith is like for me, headcanon, that's my prequel. That's my prequel. That's all I need. Such a good book. He always imagines he's writing a novel that the movie was based on. He said he has had movie producers asked, what the hell, why didn't they make the book version of this movie? Yes. So the novelization may not be old version of the script, but PD's improved the story because PD writes comic book characters and the stories for fans. His Star Trek New Frontiers was great. Yes, he did do some really good Star Trek stuff too. Peter David, politically wacko, but I met the guy. He's super nice. Super nice guy. And a great writer. Did some fucking awesome Hulk for sure. How do I say this one? Naruto Kikun?
Naruto Kikun.
Naruto
Kikun.
That's good. Thank you. You're Asian. You can do it better. For $20.
My mom tells me.
Dan and Dave didn't screw up the end of Game of Thrones. George did. What they put on screen is exactly what he told them to. Now he can't finish the books because he knows the fans hate the ending that he intended all along. I'll agree with that to a certain point because I do believe that's the ending. Absolutely believe that's the ending. But it's missing a shit ton of context that could make it work. Plus, there's a bunch of characters that are dead. But I will give the blame. I think the blame is George, Dan, and Dave's. Because Dan and Dave also checked out, especially on that last season where they weren't even on the set most of the time. And they were working on the Star Wars thing that never happened. So I blame them. I blame all three. But I mean, if you want to put ultimate blame, because HBO wanted to go longer. They're like, we can do 10 seasons. George wanted to go longer. It was Dan and Dave who said no. I would have, if I was HBO, I would have gone, fine. You guys are still EPs. We're going to bring in another showrunner and finish it out. That's what I would have done.
Oh, man. How disappointing.
Yep. Scott Christensen for $20 says, Chris, Silo isn't a procedural. It's a sci-fi mystery about humans born into Democrat-designed experiments to create humans that accept communism. Is it drugs in the water? Is it the food? Energy-emitting brain device? Nanobots? Did you see Silo? Have you seen Silo?
Yeah, I
Chris?
did. I didn't like it. I thought the ending was a cop-out, and that's a glass half full description of the show, but it effectively turns into a police procedural, which it shouldn't have been. What he talks about, that's the interesting part of the show, but the show doesn't do that. The show it doesn't do what it kind of teases all of that, and then that never goes there. I ultimately very disappointed. Like I was disappointed in Fallout. I was all in. That final episode was so bad. It was just, it made me hate the earlier episodes.
Yeah.
So
I would say like Fallout, I liked the world and I liked where it was going in the beginning. I was like, fine with this. And then
I was all in.
It got stupid. With Silo, and I know Mahler loves it. I haven't finished it. I got bored in third episode. I got really fucking bored. And I never went back. I meant to.
Like, the first two episodes are really good. Then the third episode, and then there's a whole episode about restarting the engines. Like, what? It was so, like, get to the interesting stuff. And what he said, the in the chat, like, that's what I wanted the show to be. But it isn't that.
Yeah.
So there you go.
There you go. Fear the Tardo for $25. After see multi-purse twin beardo play metal beer solid, it clear no smarter than Tardo. That okay. I like hardly bent say in Christopher Cullen's Dark Knife. Dark Kite. Either die hero or live long enough, become retard. Lock it in. Yeah. It's great. Duke Devil 95. What's up, brother? 5 Nerdrotic memberships for $25. Thank you, Duke Devil. Love you, man. Asian Phil Collins for $25 on the Streamlabs side. I can fear it coming in the I can fear it coming in the air tonight. Oh, roared. Duke Devil 95 on the Streamlabs side for $30. Thank you, brother. Says, for reasons that I have to comprehend, I've been reviewing Star Trek Discovery and Dr. Shooty in the next week. Good. Somebody has to. I'm just like, my days are done. There's a Star Trek video to be made, but not one specifically about STD. A new Shooty and 2 episodes of The Acolyte. Dude, your brain is going to be rot. Watch Clarkson Farm after each review and you'll feel better. Take 2 Clarkson Farms after watching shitty TV. Okay. This may be my last tip ever. I'll be in a rubber room forever. Muttering, forces female, send help. Forces female. Forces female. Forces female. Yep. Japanese Demon Lord for $2 says, I'm loving your Ted Kaczynski cosplay, Chris.
Thanks.
I like the beard needs to stay. They can get the most annoying thing about a beard is actually the mustache, right? To me.
Yeah.
It's the mustache.
Yeah. Agreed.
But yeah, definitely, hey, use the beard oil, wash and wash.
I got it.
There
right
you go.
Here.
You got some beard oil,
Nerdrotic
right?
brand.
Beard oil.
Yeah. Come on.
Hang on.
Awesome. Look at that. Yeah, get that beard oil. Nerdrotic beard oil. I got it. Thank you. Awesome.
Yeah.
I need it now.
It helps. It helps. Aaron Pipes for $5. So what is this Furiosa does not feature a girl boss all about? And why is gay Frank trying to attract Ryan and Jeremy with the scruffy beard look?
Look, I mean, only because everyone agrees with me, except people who haven't seen the movie. She isn't a girl boss character.
No, she's not.
She has struggle. She has male mentors. She loses a lot, and she doesn't fit the definition when you look at movies that are like with Mary Sue's, like The Marvels or Madam Web or any of that stuff. It's just so.
There's a point. Yeah, there's a point where she pretends to be a boy when it's the younger version.
Yeah.
And if you want to like keep out the fact that like she doesn't get like physically assaulted, like George Miller's Mad Max films have always been surreal, right?
Yeah.
You know, it's like, how in the fuck did Chris Hemsworth get all jacked wandering the desert? You know, you like these are things you could ask yourself about it. But as far as the character is concerned, she observes things. She does not take part in a bunch of stuff. She's observing. Yeah. She's trying to survive. She's on one rig and she's in the shit position of being under it, trying to keep people and then, trying to keep things going. And she's not even the first one. She's the second one who's under that. She's in this shit position and she like kicks a guy off, but she's not like flying around doing, scissor kicks and grabbing the guy by the neck and pulling him down and punching out 300-pound dudes. That's not happening. It's not. Yeah. She's shooting at people and missing most of the time. A big chunk of the film has Praetorian Jack, who is her mentor, who's kind of a Mad Max character, and telling her about the way of the world. And it's what happens to him is the impetus of how she's trying to get home. Then it turns into a revenge. And it's kind of both. I want to get home, get revenge. And she doesn't She gets revenge. She doesn't go home.
Yeah.
And what's really interesting is the two warlords fighting, you know, Dementis and Immortan Joe, and facing off each other. That part, pretty fucking cool. That part is pretty fucking cool. And
however, oh, sorry.
Go on.
Well, however, the marketing made it look like she's the girl boss.
Yes,
So
it did.
I don't blame people for thinking that, but you need to see the movie. It's a bait and switch in the other direction, which never happens, right? Right? That's what it is. So, and everyone is, I'm not going to engage in the debate because you need to see the movie, but the marketing has led you astray. So,
but
there you go.
if you're just sick of Hollywood and you don't want to support him anymore, okay, that's fair.
Yeah,
That's super fair.
I think, yes, totally fair.
That's fair. Like fuck them. I get it. And maybe you watch on stream, maybe you don't care. Or maybe you just don't think Furiosa is that exciting of a character. I went and saw it for George Miller. Like I'm a big George Miller fan. I fucking love the Mad Max movies. The 3 that exist. There are only 3 Mad Max films. That's it. And I'm going to go watch them again. They're in 4K. I can watch it. It's Road Warrior is one of the greatest movies ever fucking made. It's it's in my top 5 all-time films. And if it was old man Mad Max, it would have made its money back. And then some.
Yeah.
And then some. By next week, it won't even be talked about anymore.
Yeah, it's sad.
Other than a few critics coping. And a lot of the reasons, I couldn't put this clip in because I didn't have time, but there's Taylor Sheridan talked to Joe Rogan. And they were talking about critics and talking about how the critics always shit on Yellowstone, but it's this like really popular show. And Taylor Sheridan said, well, we don't have critics anymore. I'm paraphrasing what he said. It's all confirmation bias. They'll praise something they know is crap because it politically agrees with them. He's all essentially saying criticism is dead within the professional criticism realm. And he was 100% right. That's why there are people on YouTube. That's why people go to The Critical Drinker now. Okay, because he's not some fucking corporate hack. He just watches shit and gives you his opinion, right? And doesn't even come off like his opinion's the best one and the most legit. He's just a guy, right? And that's why we're just going to each other now. So that's why you hear a lot of times, and I agree with you, and I would feel the same way. I'm not going to see movies early, and people are I'll just wait for what people say. I'll wait for the audience score. I'll wait for Culture Casino. I'll wait for Chris Gore. You're one of the few critics left that is legit, and there's a couple out there. There are a couple out there you can believe, but there's not many. And we know there's not some political bias pushing this shit. It's just be honest. That's it. And I thought Furiosa was going to be a total shit show. I saw the trailer. I'm like, this is going to be a shit show. Yeah. And it wasn't. Is it the greatest movie ever made? No. Was it better directed than Dune Part 2? Yeah. Yeah, it was. More exciting, better paced. No Zendaya. Both of them had Anya Taylor-Joy, but she was only in Dune Part 2 for a second. And I like Dune 2. I do. But as far as like excitement and having fun watching a movie and watching fucking just vehicles fly around, that's what I like. I like that shit. I do. Alex Belfour for $10. Access Media trying to tie Garfield into Furiosa failure. The excuses are going to be awesome. What? Please tell me if they actually use the solar eclipse, okay? Because I'm holding out for that one. And refuses to admit that Mad Max less Mad Max Saga is the reason Mad Max less movie failed, which is why it failed. That's why it failed. You didn't give people what they want. But that argument can be made for Captain America 4, Black Falcon Captain America. They're going to think of every excuse under the sun why that's not going to make $1 bazillion, which it's not. It's not going to do well. It's because Captain America is not in the Captain America movie.
Yeah.
And no shade to Sam Wilson's Falcon, which is a good character, but he's not Captain America. And the reason they made him Captain America was for political reasons in the comic books and in the movies, for politically motivated DEI reasons, not for this is a good choice for a character in a story. It's actually a terrible choice. If you think about the power sect, he doesn't have any. He flies with wings. That would get in the way of your fucking shield. It's stupid. And the costume looks terrible. No, logically, story-wise, it made sense for Bucky to become Captain America, if you really wanted to do that, and then follow the Brubaker run, which was fucking excellent. Through that Brubaker run, where Bucky plays Captain America, where everybody liked, all my customers were like, this is cool. They can actually keep this. I hated this decision. Everybody hated Bucky coming back. Everybody fucking hated it, to a man and woman. Brubaker won them over with good storytelling, and then people were saying, well, shit, if Steve stays gone, I'm fine. But within that story, it shows you why Steve Rogers was the better Captain America.
Yeah, it just doesn't feel earned. Like, well, here's your shield. See you later. What?
Yep.
I don't know how they're gonna make that work.
Dude, the whole fucking Winter Soldier and Civil War are all predicated on Bucky and redemption. That's what it's all about. And then they just go, fuck you, dude. Here, give it to Sam Wilson. It's like, holy shit. So they're not giving people what they want. They're purposefully going against it because of their own personal bias and politics. Kills creativity. The Old Yorkshire Geek for £5 British. Welcome back, Gary. A great present for my 57th birthday. Well, happy birthday. 57. Fuck, you're old.
Younger than me.
It's a couple years
I'm
older.
old.
Yeah,
I'm old, man.
Luis Suevas for $10 says, Fear the Beardo is out for being Fear the Tardo. Hail George R. R. Martin. Is out there being Fear the Tardo. Hail George R. R. Martin. This is true. Finish the book, George. Accident Seller for 20 Norwegian krona. Gary, FF is not the same without you, bro. Hashtag no homo. You hear that, X-Ray Girl? You guys need me.
No homo.
No homo. It's my fault. I meant to be there, but the internet connection was just shit. And I got the time screwed up because I don't blame Arizona. Arizona's smart. I blame daylight savings time because it's fucking retarded. And Arizona don't play that game. So I forgot that when I'm in their mountain time zone, I'm actually in the Pacific time zone for daylight savings time.
Oh, that's confusing.
It's confusing, but Arizona has it right. Daylight savings time is stupid.
Agreed.
WG has gifted 5 Nerdrotic memberships for $25. Hail WG. Kevin Kirk. I have a half a sleeve Deadpool tattoo from the 90s when everyone kept asking me why I like Spider-Man so much, but I'm not sure I will make it to the Deadpool movie because I'm just checked out and no idea how to recapture that. Chris was mentioning that. I think that's where a lot of people are with, a lot of franchises. I think,
yeah,
in the years building up to where we were like trying to call this stuff out and go, fuck, you better change. You better get back to the characters that made things popular, because what happens next is apathy. Now, Deadpool Wolverine's going to make a lot of money. I think it is, but it's not going to fix the overall MCU, which many have said, including yours truly, including Chris. It doesn't fix the overall problem, which is your main characters are either dead or completely vandalized beyond recognition. And now you have to reboot, which is something you didn't need to do because you decided to get all up your ass about DEI and pushing characters nobody cares about. Marvel and DC are run on very few characters. They both have huge catalogs, thousands of characters, but Marvel and DC run each on about 3 or 4 characters. That's what pushes the whole thing.
Yeah, what if it's already made 8 million just for opening night?
It's probably 10.
Ticket?
It's probably 10 now. It's probably well over 10.
But We should start a new like hashtag or whatever. Male and pale means money.
Yeah. You know what?
Two white guys. A lot of money.
Hollywood saved by White Boy Summer.
Yeah. Money.
That's gonna be the title of my video if it's good.
Yeah, do it.
Deadpool and Wolverine saved by two white boys.
Yeah.
Summer saved by two white guys. Oh my God.
Oh yeah, point that out because no one's talking about that. The fact that it's two white guys, you know, the actors are generally loved, right? Characters, good characters, and it will make the most money.
I'm gonna check my local theater here.
Yeah.
And see where the pre-sales are.
By the way, the theater I bought tickets that we are seeing in San Diego, 100% packed.
Yep.
It's like I had to thread the needle of getting seats that were like, so I did the best I could. But,
That's cool. That's cool. We have to pull some strings because I got some family that's going to be down there that's never been.
I got 9 tickets.
Okay, good.
So I think we'll be okay.
I've got nieces.
Okay.
I'll
see how many I'll kick Alan out.
Fuck Alan. No. I mean, like we'll figure it out. Like we're not going to kick Alan out.
Figure it out.
We're not going to kick Alan out.
Tickets.
Okay, we're gonna go on the what? Hang on. Give me just a moment here. So I will search Deadpool because it was half sold out when I checked last week. So let me check. So we have got it. It's for some reason, it's not use current location. There we go. Select day. It is. Oh, sold out.
Really?
Yep, that one show is sold out. The 3:00 show gone.
Wow.
All right.
Yeah, they're saying certain shows are sold out.
Yeah, certain shows are sold out. Not the entire theater, but certain shows.
Whoa.
Gone. Yeah.
Whoa. It's like all, yeah. It's like the first 3 rows are, empty. But
shit. June 3rd. When is that?
Damn.
Monday, June 3rd, all the Spider-Man movies.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, it's Spider-Man No Way Home. Okay, but they're doing all the Spider-Man movies like in a row or something like that for the 100th anniversary.
Whoa.
So
Wow.
but yeah, Deadpool Wolverine for the 3:00 show, gone. Gone.
Wow.
Yep.
It's gonna do well.
And usually my theater's pretty empty. Right, like unless it's like a huge movie, I think the last like Across the Spider-Verse, it was sold out for that. But like Fall Guy, there was like 4 people in there. To give you, it's a suburban theater, right? So it's good. That's going to be more indicative of what than L.A. or some downtown theater. It's going to be more indicative of how a movie's going to do, in my humble opinion, which could be completely wrong. It's just anecdotal. W Nanners for 50. Hey, Chris. I hope you're doing a lot better, man. He's doing a lot better. Gary, I was wondering if you were going to have a Boy Kills World review. Now, I'm honestly going to watch that one at home at some point. I really wanted your 2 opinions on the film. I was a big fan of the ending and the action scenes.
Yeah, I saw it. It's very video game inspired.
Okay.
It's good. It was entertaining. It has a weird thing where he has this sort of internal voice that narrates the movie. It was just fun. It was good, but not change your life. So, but good action.
Oh shit! I'll let you know. I can watch it at home tonight.
on VOD.
It's on
Get
VOD. It's on VOD.
Yeah.
So,
It's worth seeing. It's worth seeing.
Yeah, I'll watch it with Miss Nerdrotic. Thank
It's
you.
very violent.
Yeah, and I'll let you know.
Very
That's
violent.
fine. That's good.
Like that.
Sumerian. Sorry, can't read. For $9.99. Everyone loves a good nooner. Great to see you, Chris. Beard is looking good. Are you going to Monsterpalooza this weekend? Also, I recommend Razor's new Batman video. It's a great video, by the way. I agree with him. The Shadow is better. The Shadow is awesome. The Shadow is a fucking awesome. I like Batman. The Shadow is an awesome, underrated character. I love that like Razor Fist like carries the flag for the Shadow, and also likes to point out correctly how many things Batman ripped off many things. Shadow was one of them. I still love Batman, but it's what did you are you going to Monsterpalooza, Chris?
I am going. It's 3 blocks from where I live. I'm going to walk there. I can't wait. I'll be there all 3 days. I've got the 3-day badge. Monsterpalooza, you would like it, Gary. It's just a horror convention. They get a lot of good guests and panels. The merch is great. It's not super corporate at all. It's a lot of individual like artists and tables and goods. So I will be there all 3 days. I cannot wait.
Have
So
fun.
look for me there. I'll be
Have
walking
fun.
around.
Yeah, sorry you can't make the Fan Expo. I'm only going for a day.
Yeah. It's all good, man. Don't worry.
All right. Yeah.
Yeah, but Monsterpalooza, really fun. I never miss it.
Japanese Demon Lord, people are not tired of the girl boss. People are tired of poorly written girl bosses. I think people are tired of the girl boss, Japanese Demon Lord, because I mean the girl boss is a very specific term for I don't need no man. But it's not just I don't need no man. It's a female protagonist playing a male protagonist.
Right.
That's what they're sick of.
Yeah, people aren't sick of female protagonists.
They're not sick of female leads.
Yeah, just girl boss thing. It's a trope. It's tired and it's ultimately off-putting. You know?
Yeah. And it's out of character and it's unbelievable and it's stupid and it's fucking lazy. That's the thing. And it's also, and I tweeted about this and talked about it in my video, it's done the most damage to female leads than any fucking misogynist could dream of.
Right.
And, but I mean, like, you know, we'll see when Alien comes out.
Can you imagine if someone made a version and call it like a boy boss? A boy boss would be a male character that always wins, doesn't need help, thinks women are stupid and girls are dumb. Like the only way to show how dumb the idea is to flip it to a male version of the girl boss. You would hate that character.
Dude.
You would hate a boy boss character. Oh, shut up, dumb woman. Like that's what the female characters do. And
yes.
It's so bad. It's so bad.
They act like what the fourth wave feminists think is a characterized version of a misogynist. That's what the women act like.
Right.
If that makes any sense to you. But you know what? Somebody needs to make this skit. Some comedian with their chops needs to make the American Society of Magical Girl Bosses. And the Americans, like, think of every trope. The American Society of Black Female Police Detectives. Like shit we're seeing all the time now. Make that fucking skit. It would be funny. It would be funny. It would take the piss out of it. God, there's so much comedy gold with that people have just left behind in all this nonsense. Mad Dog 375. Instead of Mad Max, we got Madman De Niro in New York. I know.
Oh yeah.
God, he's crazy. He's crazy. He's a hobbit too, by the way. He's really short. What a fucking moron. What a moron. Did Trump go to jail? No. Because people were saying he was going to go to jail, but he went home last night, right? So, yeah. I don't know. I think I would have heard about it if he'd gone to jail. Wow, that won't be a good idea. B-Chain 315 for $5. Whoa, Nuna came early today. Gonna have to catch up driving between my dealerships. Hail Gary, Gore, and Exeter Ghoul. Cheers.
Cheers.
Thank you.
So you work at car dealerships? I used to work at car dealerships. I kind of like that job. Food and rent is expensive. Theater ticket prices are $23 and up. People going to choose food and shelter over movie when everything is too damn expensive right now, and it's not good. I'll add in, it's not good for the most part. Jar Jar stinks for $10. I agree. Some assholes on Twitter were trying to put up like, here's the matinee in Northern Indiana for $6.99. It's like, yeah, dude, most places are $14 and up.
Yep.
So it's not cheap. Albert, not a retro for 5 Canadian pesos. Janeway was a girl boss on Trek. She was a captain. She was a girl captain. No issue. But she also acted like a woman and respected her crew, male or female. And I don't recall. You don't believe I can do this because I'm a woman. Bullshit. Because it was already well established in Star Trek. All right. And they had moved past that. It's how useless they make the men that they put around the girl boss. You wouldn't want them around at all. No, it's destroying other characters to help build up. It's a very cheap way of writing by people who have no talent. Minimize the side or ancillary characters or the other male characters to help prop up your female character instead of just making your female character a human being that people like. That you can connect to on a human level. Bungles Twanger for $5. Great to have you back, Frank. Gary, they opened a Whataburger in Vegas. Is it worth the hype to try it?
I liked Whataburger, but last time I had one was 2018.
Okay. It's not, I wouldn't drive across town for one. I do believe as far as the mid-tier fast food goes, In-N-Out is superior to In-N-Out Burger, but they have seasonal burgers, right? So they have the sirloin one that's out right now. Fucking great. It's great. So it's up to you. The Acolyte will save Star Wars. Hail Kathleen Kennedy. Matthew Hammond for $9.99. I determined that Jeremy Clarkson needs to come to America with Clarkson's Farms America. He needs to see Thomas Massey's farm in Connecticut. There are mini docs about it on YouTube. Off the Grid with Thomas Massey. Yeah, it's easier to farm over here. You have a lot more rights over here than you do in the UK. But I think it's great that they show the extreme case, which is funny. Because there's this little battle going on. You know, UK has a lot of immigration. But what this town is trying to do is preserve what's there. Like, ultimately, that's a decent thing to do. But they just went a little crazy when it comes to Jeremy Clarkson because they clearly don't like him. Plus, there's also some bureaucracy that, as an American, I love the UK. I'd live there if it wasn't for your fucking crazy government. Your government's fucking crazy. Fuck that. Ours ain't great. But you could own your property. The Crimson King for $5. Furiosa might be good, but it is a prequel. Give us Max and the V8 Interceptor. Exactly. And the V8 Interceptor. I am the Knight Rider. I am fuel injected suicide machine.
That's the thing that bugged me about Fury Road. He doesn't get his car back.
No. They show him fixing it. So they do make a point to show that they're going to fix it at some point, and then he never gets the fucking V8.
That was so cool, that car.
And that was kind of my bitch about Mad Max Beyond Thunderdome, too.
Yeah.
And, that was... Dude, Han Solo doesn't pilot the Millennium Falcon in Return of the Jedi. Fuck that. That's fucking insane. I was so pissed about that when I was a kid. I'm like, what? Don't get me started. How am I? Shake Ma Wangalang for $2 says, liking the beard, Chris.
Okay,
Shake Ma Wangalang. Arg, not another name for $9.99. Lived near Bisbee for a while when I was teaching for the Army in Fort, I can't even say that, Huwaka Waka. The Bisbee Breakfast Club is great. Bisbee is nice. It's cool. Lots of hippies there, though. Shane Boatwright for $4.99. I guess George R.R. Martin finally figured out why everything got so toxic, huh? Self-awareness comes slowly. Well, yeah, especially after he almost got canceled at his own at Worldcon, which he's helped keep around for mispronouncing some bitch's name. Poway POW on the Streamlabs side for $10. Not the best animated movie, but I'll take it. Father and son story didn't seem woke.
There's one above it.
There. Oh, okay.
2 parts.
Sorry. Poway POW, 2 parts for $20 says, Hail, nice to have you back. So apparently having a stroke is like getting run through with a lightsaber. Anyway, Chris, saw your review on Garfield. I saw it with my 9-year-old. Not the best animated movie, but I'll take it. Father and son story didn't seem woke. I'm just happy to have things I could take my kid to see. Always like to support Pratt as well. Love the Terminal List show, and books are even better. The Terminal List show is fucking amazing. It's really good.
Well, fair point. Like Garfield, 9-year-old, perfect. Father son story, perfect.
That's good.
Not for me, but like that would be great experience. Yeah.
But
so I hear you. Thank you so much.
As things start to change, and they will. The argument is, I mean, we've already had this argument before many times, is like, just because something isn't woke doesn't make it good.
True. But for a 9-year-old, perfect.
Yeah.
Movie.
Good.
A great time at the movies. We'll never forget it. At popcorn. Love it. Love the experience.
We didn't even think about it. Like we went to a movie almost every weekend, if not every weekend, when my kid, because it was something I did with my kids, and we took them to animated movies. It drove me insane, but they liked 99% of them.
Right.
That's fine. Gary and Chris, have you all seen the video of Mel changing his own tire at night and a fan comes up to him in Mexico? Yes, I have. You should play it.
Oh, I haven't seen it.
Very down to earth. They played it on Geeks and Gamers. If you can try to find it real quick, X-Ray Girl. From Gage Kraskowitz, missing bicep. Craig Rowe Jr. for $10. You want to know what's going on with Hollywood? Look at McAllen, Texas theater seats on Tuesday versus Friday. Tuesday is cheap night and it's packed. People can't afford the movies. That's part of it. I totally agree. When fast food is like a $30 trip now for a couple people, that's fucking insane.
Not cheap.
That's insane.
It's not cheap. Crazy. Someone posted screenshots of $25 for a Big Mac value meal. This is crazy. I used to get fast food. It's like a once a month, whatever. Now, like, I can go to a decent restaurant cheaper. It's weird.
Esteban Belnamo for £5 proper money. Love you, Gary. Love you, X-Ray Girl. Chris, looking forward to seeing you guys in London again. We'll be back sooner than later. Esteban. If it wasn't for Peru, we would have come back this year. But I'm thinking next year at the same time, September. It's a good time to go there. It's kind of like what we called here in America an Indian summer. So the weather's generally pretty good. At least the 3 times I've been there in September, it's been pretty nice. Well, it was hotter than fuck last year.
It was too hot.
It was crazy. But yeah, that's where we're going to go back. I had such a good time. That was so freaking Shad, Adam Krigler, X-Ray, like all of us just running around, being knuckleheads. Drinker came over. The meetup was insane. The most insane meetup we've had. By far. Like, by far. Because they kicked us out. The restaurant kicked us out. They we're not interested at all. It's like, you're still making money right now. Don't care. Bye. We were going home. Man. The staff went home. So we finished it across the street outside.
Wow.
Darren Murphy for $9.99. There's a video of the guy who played Barristan Selmy saying that George finished the books. If true, maybe he's just holding them because the show ended. Thoughts? No, he's not finished with the books. He is not finished with the books. I could see us getting Wins a Winner maybe in a year. I know a bunch of people are talking about this year. It's like, nah. Let me put it this way. If I said this about 2023, I'll say about 2025. If you don't see Wins a Winner by 2025, you will never see it. You will never see it. Big Ounce for $5. Chris, glad to see you're doing better. Question for Gary. Superman versus Thor. Both highest potential in the comics. I go for Superman just due to speed. Superman wins. Thor is technically magical, but Superman wins. And that Superman Homelander debate, fucking Homelander would be his prison girlfriend. Don't even fucking consider it. Superman would fuck up Homelander. Okay. Tyrannic for 10 British pounds. Hail FNT. Guys, it's a bit obscure, but BBC did an adaptation of the Tom Bombadil story back. Oh, and the earlier. Okay, so you're talking about the earlier radio play. About the same time the radio play for Lord of the Rings. I think it's still available online. It's not in the Brian Selby version, but there is an earlier version. Was that BBC? That's they did The Hobbit. There is an earlier version. I don't know if it's BBC though. I forgot the name of there's a couple of, I have the records of it. I just never listened to it because it's not as good as the BBC version. Aiken for $7.99 Australian. Chris, the stroke didn't stop you picking up Gary's phrasing. Love young women in the sea.
What?
I don't know.
Young woman and the sea?
Young woman. Oh, young women in the sea. Yes, but he put a C. But he put a C, not the letter C.
Oh. Young woman and the sea. I should
in
be
the sea.
more clear in my enunciation.
Enoch Bamon, thank you for the $10 on Streamlabs. I appreciate it. And then $5 more says the upside of Chris having a stroke is that he can now title his autobiography "Stroke of Not Quite a Genius." The Frank, Chris Gore story. Yeah, I love that.
That's cool. All right.
Vera Tunata for $10 says, for the best exploration of Tolkien's Legendarium, Tolkien Untangled with Rainbow Dave is a must. Yes. The Maroc for $1.99. Chris, are the DVDs used as the name implies or new? What did I just read, X-Ray Girl?
That must be Sloppy Seconds.
Okay.
Yeah, so they're not new. They're a guy. This was the Japanese release. It's not in English. So I put the website in the private chat. I send it to you, Gary. Amazing stuff. Like you can't get it in the US and they're very cheap. So in fact, I was browsing while you were reading super chats. So no, just go to the website. Sloppy. I get nothing. I am just a consumer of the site. I look for rare things. These are international releases that are region free and they're pretty cheap, but you don't get them fast. You get them in like a month. So Sloppy Seconds sales. Check it out. You'll find some cool stuff there, Gary.
Oh, wow. I just got DMs. I can't say, but I got DMs from somebody who worked on Silo from the set. They showed the picture.
Oh, what did they say?
Set's real. The set was pretty fucking real. It's big.
No, the first few episodes were amazing.
Yeah.
It was really incredible. And then the story went down a path that it should have been more sci-fi and less like a procedural in a silo.
Ugh.
So you didn't get past 3 episodes?
Nope. I probably will, but
another thing I saw recently was Baby Reindeer on Netflix.
Liked it, hated it.
Dude, the first 2 episodes, I'm all in. It's weird about a bartender that is stalked by a girl that thinks he likes her. And then it goes so dark. There's a trigger warning on the 3rd or 4th episode.
The 4th one.
Involving grape. And it's the only time I've seen a trigger warning where I thought the show really needed it. It was hard to watch. Overall, I like the show, but if I knew what was going to happen, probably wouldn't have watched it. But as a weird, like her in the movie or in the show, she's hilarious. Not hilarious in a good way, in a cringe way. Like,
And interesting. I've never seen this type of behavior type of way.
yes, I've never seen anything like it. It's hard to recommend it. I'm gonna talk about it on Friday.
You need
But
to watch the Pierce Morgan interview.
I did see it. Holy
Oh,
cow.
she's just like her,
Whoa.
right?
The same girl. Anyways, fascinating. And in the end, I enjoyed it, but that middle part, wow. So dark.
Very
and
dark.
and Gary will hate it. I don't think
I'm not
Gary
going to
will
watch
like
it.
I don't think if you watch the first episode,
Is there a wizard in it?
no.
Is there
No.
is there a
No
superhero in
wizards.
it?
No.
There's no magic.
Is it a drug deal gone bad? Is there a drug deal gone bad?
Drugs are involved.
Okay,
Yes.
maybe.
And a bad deal, yes.
So you saw it, X-Ray Girl. What'd you think?
It was interesting, and I kind of wish I didn't watch it, but it was like something I couldn't stop watching. It's like a car crashing, you know?
Yeah, but it's like one of those things. There's nothing like it.
Yeah,
There's
and
nothing like
the
it.
the guy who plays it is the one who the story is based on.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
It's
A rabbit hole. You need to go
Yes,
down that rabbit hole.
so good. I mean, it's so honest and shocking.
You know, it doesn't have any raping or Clarkson's Farm.
Yeah, that's what I'll watch next.
Favre for $5 says, stoked to see Chris. You should have said stroked to see Chris. God
Yeah.
bless you, man.
Yeah.
You loom great.
Yeah, thanks. No, I'm not 100%, but eventually this goes away.
Yeah,
I could say
you're
horror amarata. So
see, I can't even say horror Aurora. So there you go.
Amarada.
BM for $10. Started watching you guys when I was recovering from a tibial plateau fracture.
Oh wow.
That
That
sounds
sucks.
painful. And a torn ACL and MCL tendons about 2 years ago. Well,
Oh.
you're on the DL for a while then. Thanks for keeping me entertained during the recovery process. Hail the 199. Hail to you.
Yeah. Take it easy.
Chris, you're looking and sounding great.
Thanks.
You're doing great, man. You're doing great. I can't wait
I'll get better. I'll get better.
for Comic-Con. It's
Yeah,
coming
by
up.
Comic-Con I should be good. Can't wait. I did get a room.
Oh, you got a room. And I did get a press pass. So there you go.
Oh, well, I have a backup to get a pass, but my panel has not been approved yet.
But it hasn't been disapproved.
Yes.
You might not know for a while because they wait till last minute on a lot of that shit.
Yeah. We'll see. I'm nervous.
What the panels you did last time were a fucking huge hit.
It was packed, standing room only. Great panel. Why would they not have him back? So whatever.
And it was diverse. We were under the diversity. That was so good.
It was, but organically
I know.
diverse.
But they put us under the category, which was fucking hilarious.
But I don't know. People are so uptight. Just whatever.
Well, they'll have. I mean, I guarantee you there'll be 4 feminism, the patriarchy, and colonialism in comics panels.
Oh God. Decolonizing comics.
Decolonizing comics.
Oh, that should be the name of our panel.
Yes.
Oh my God.
The new DC.
Reculturally appropriating. Reculturally appropriating. Decolonizing comics. Yes. Zod Lander for 100 Swedish krona. That's just a good name. I like it. There was a storm that might have made the difference in votes. Brendan needs to have a voice of government, and I'm not even from the U.S. I'm Swedish, and I want a voice like Brandon to go everywhere. It was close. I mean, like, things aren't going to change until we start getting real people in office. Honestly, I don't give what the fuck the party is. But we just got these. We get these corporate automatons, put in there, and they don't fight for the people. And it's low information voters. Tony Gonzalez spent a lot of money. In my gym, I saw anti-Brandon Herrera ads, like on a fucking loop around here. And they were all lies. And half the people bought it. You know, at some point, that's got to be on the people. We have to start paying attention. We can complain all we fucking want, but if we aren't going to these local elections and voting on our school board and stuff, it's on us. That's how it got taken away. And it's going to take a while to get back. But it would have been great to see Brandon there. And he almost made it. He can run again. Tenero for $4.99. Chris looks like Steven Seagal from that one movie.
I'll take it.
Okay. Clarkson's Farm is a masterpiece. It informs, educates, and entertains, which is the BBC's mission, supposedly. Clarkson's Farm proves that the BBC is not fit for purpose, says Sir Clive Calculator for 10 proper British pounds. I agree. Zodlander for 100 Swedish krona. Film Threat, Disparu, EFAP, FNT, and The Drinker is the better sources for my entertainment, in my opinion. We appreciate that. Thank you. Speaking for Disparu, Film Threat, EFAP, Open Bar, Drinker, Hell Drinker. How many we got to go? Chris, you need to go.
Soon, yeah. I mean, yes, I should go actually.
Okay. You should probably get out of here. We got a few more to go.
Dude, it's so good to be back. So good to just shoot the shit with you.
Yes.
And talk about sloppy seconds. And no, I was looking. Yeah. And yeah, just get back to the grind and talk about, baby reindeer. Oh my God. Try to watch the first episode. You actually, Mrs. Nerdrotic.
Yeah, I was going to say that's more of a Mrs. Nerdrotic thing. I think she can watch it and let me know.
Because it's insane. It is based on a true story. And the woman who is the story is about was on Piers Morgan.
Yeah. I saw the whole thing go down, but
it's such a crazy real story. You just the first episode. That's it. Watch it with Mrs. Nerdrotic. But I just want to say thank you to everyone who has sent me cards, letters, super chats to me. Like, it means so much. And I'm just glad to get back in the grind. I wish movies were better. Like, if I was going to take a lot of time off, this would be the time to do it. Because, wow, are we in trouble. But next week, The Acolyte. I'm very excited and looking forward to that. So,
yes, the countdown is on. Can't wait to see that masterpiece.
Can't wait. I've heard so much about it. Like,
all I know, 2 weeks, House of the Dragon. I'm fucking ready.
Oh,
ready.
That I'm stoked. I'm stoked for that. Yep. So, thank you, everyone. I'll be back next week. We'll be talking Acolyte, right?
Acolyte. We'll be talking Acolyte.
Hell yeah. And thank you, X-Ray Girl, you and Zia. What a combo.
Great combo, right?
Yeah. Two great tastes that go great together. Why did I say that?
Why did you say
Whoa!
Oh my
God. From like a candy bar commercial?
That needs to be clipped.
It will be.
Repeat that. Double X.
Mark just fell off his leg.
All right. I'll be back next week. Hollywood on the Rocks with Alan Ng starts in like an hour. I'm not on it. He has his own. He's doing this thing. He's got some great stuff. And then Friday, Alan and I are together for the Film Threat livecast.
Awesome.
So, yeah, cool.
See you then. Right. Talk to you soon, brother.
Take care, brother. Thank you so much. Later, everyone. Later, X-Ray Girl. Bye.
Bye. Frank Gore. Frank motherfucking Gore. Yeah. House of the Dragon live streams right after the episode airs every Sunday until it ends. The first one, I'll be in North Carolina, but we're still doing it. So, yeah. And I can't wait. So Ryan and Mahler will be joining me. And we're going to rotate, I think, other guests in too. And it's going to be like old school reviews. If you have been around the channel for years and years, we We break down the episode, non-spoiler, spoiler, and then we get to you guys, and then we're out. So that's what we do every Sunday. Lance for $1.99 says, no Mad Max, no good review. There you go. The Argonaut for $5. Furiosa was very entertaining, but did have girl boss elements, notably the badass ain't afraid of no mom at the beginning. Still enjoyable though. She was a good sniper. I didn't get that. She was just a good sniper, and then she got crucified.
Caught. Yeah.
She got crucified. So, if she would have escaped, but they didn't have her like going into combat. She snuck into one camp, but she almost died, and then she got crucified. Albert Nada Retro for 5 Canadian pesos. I have bad writing, anti-male, bad CGI, anti-male, abusing men is funny, anti-male, plot holes. You could fly a Battlestar Galactica through anti-men fatigue. Yes. Fatigue is real. I mean, I think some people use it as a cope, but I think it's pretty clear there is a Hollywood fatigue. I think that's been going on for a long time. And it's where fatigue comes from. It comes from too much bad shit. Too much bad shit, and then we don't trust the brand anymore, and we stop supporting it. As Chris said, you make enough bad pizza, you're just not going to go back to that place. Blaming the audience isn't the way to do it. But go ahead, Hollywood. Blame the fucking paying customer. See what happens. You know, Deadpool and Wolverine could suck. Could absolutely suck. But it's going to have a monster opening weekend. A monster. Now, if it reaches $1 billion, even with a monster opening weekend, because Doctor Strange Mom had a monster opening weekend and got close, but it didn't make $1 billion. Shit. I was looking at the Marvel's opening weekend, which was better than Furiosa's, and it only made $200 million worldwide. So it made a quarter of its total on opening weekend. Jimbo for 3 New Zealand pesos. Hi from New Zealand. Hello. Greetings. War Van Eagle TV for $4.99. Acolyte brought to you by Pedolite. And apparently we're not supposed to bring up that Leslie Headland is the former personal assistant to Harvey Weinstein. I'll be sure to not bring up that Leslie Headland is the former personal assistant to Harvey Weinstein that much in the videos, only about 5 or 6 times. I like Skywalkers in my Skywalker sagas, just like I like Mad Max in my Mad Max sagas. That's right. That's right. Curtis D. of Montana for $2. Hail the Fellowship. We Were Soldiers. Great movie. Yeah.
Jed Iben.
I almost said Jedediah for $4.99. Gary, BBC question, since you bailed Tuesday, did you see the Skybound G.I. Joe Kickstarter hit 1 million and fully funded in 6 fucking minutes? No, that is awesome. That is awesome. See, G.I. Joe would be smart to just not make anything but toys. Don't make anything but fucking accurate toys. That is brilliant to hear. No, I bailed out because I extended my vacation. I was having a good time. Matt Guilmiet for 2, it's French. For 2 Canadian pesos. Why shouldn't pigs drive? They hog the road. Oh, I'll give you that. I'll give you that because I'm a dad, but the chat will be brutal to you. Mr. Burns for $10. Chris, you look great. Gary, you look the same. I'll take it. I'm now at 2 years since my initial diagnosis of stage 3 melanoma. No evidence of the disease. Hail! Hail from the fellow Jen's ear from Whittier, now in Utah. Hail. That's fucking the best news ever. That is great news. I'll take looking the same. I got a little sun. I was out in the sun. They're going to make him the Tom Kaczynski Bombadil. Yeah. Rudy for $2. Yes, accident seller for 20 Norwegian krona. Tywin and Arya, epic scenes not in the books. Oh, yes. Well, because they repurposed those scenes, right? The Tywin Arya scenes are repurposed from Arya and Roose Bolton. And no, they were repurposed very well. But George was also involved in that process. But those Tywin and Arya scenes are fucking magnificent. You're right. And one of the best speeches was completely original, which was the chaos is a ladder thing. And the way they contradict that with the, Tormund and Jon like climbing the wall, it was I'm not contradicted, but they showed it back and forth. I'm blanking on the word right now. It was really good. It's really good. Jojen Paste for $1.99. One could not simply adapt Tom Bombadil. No, I think Tom Bombadil's fine for just the books. And I think I know Amazon will fuck it up. Tribish Thomas has gifted 50 Nerdrotic memberships or $250. I got allergies on the road. It was bad. Thank you, Tribish Thomas. Andrew Matthews for $2. One wig to wear them all. And in the drag show, bind them. One wig to wear them all. And in the drag show, bind them. Aaliyah Wells for $5. Saw Garfield with the kids Saturday. On Monday, saw Furiosa with hubby. More people in Garfield than Furiosa. Not surprised. I thought Garfield would beat it. And I think it will eventually. Sid the Magi for $5. They are wasting money on crap, but can't make stuff like The Tick. Yes. It's brutal that they keep shit going. And the Tick, the live action Tick on Amazon was so fucking good and it got cut short. But Ash vs. Evil Dead was so fucking good and got cut short. See you in Greensboro, man. Safe travels. WG for 50. I'll see you there, brother. 2 weeks. Cosmic Summit, X-Ray Girl. Are you there? She's not there. Cosmic Summit is coming up, and I'll be there. It is in Greensboro, North Carolina. The speakers will be, I'm going off the top of my head completely, Randall Carlson, Robert Schock, Hugh Newman from Megalithomania, Luke Caverns, Ben from Uncharted X. This is going to be an amazing show. An amazing show. And we'll be there. We'll be there. Miss listening to you pulling the worlds to right. By the way, Mel Gibson got blacklisted by the elite for saying some things in a drunken state. Yes. Well, and it wasn't just the stuff he said in the drunken state. It's the stuff he said after that bothers them, which is pointing out the abuse of children. Kaloth for $10. Hail the continuing failure of Hollywood. How long until they do not get funding secured for a movie above what it's expected at the box office? Pretty soon. The well is getting close to empty for a significant number. That is happening already, right? I mean, they still have the big funding for superhero movies for now, but yeah, almost $200 million for Furiosa. That was George Miller cred. That's it. But that's not going to be happening much longer, no. Lord Botha for $199. Twisters is reported to have cost $200 million. Jesus Christ. Well, that's going to flop. Asian Led Zeppelin for $50. You need cooling. Baby, you need cooling, baby. I'm not fooling. I'm going to send you back to schooling. Way down inside, honey. You need it. I'm going to give you my rub. Want a whole rod of rub. Want a whole rod of rub.
Oh my God.
Accident seller for 20 Norwegian krona. Flight Risk. Is that Lizzo movie? But you get that. Oh, I didn't even give you my review of South Park was fucking magnificent. Everybody's seen the Lizzo commercial.
Oh, that clip.
But holy shit. So it's about Ozempic. And it's about the American healthcare system. Kind of takes some shots at Hollywood. But by the end, it's fucking hilarious. So there's a cabal of serial characters that want to go after the people because I think it's Kyle or Stan, can't remember which one, wants to start making, Cartman wants to get thin, and he saw what that means to him. So he wants to start making his own Ozempic. By the way, there's Ozempic parties where Randy goes with all the South Park wives who all have midriffs on now because they're on Ozempic. And it's like, you know, it's about, there's a lot of B and C plots going on, but the best part is Ozempic is cutting in on the cereal sales. So all the cereal characters like Captain Crunch and Tony the Tiger and Sugar Bear are like all smoking cigarettes, and they're like, we need to take out the Ozempic guys. It's fucking funny. Ends up like with a truck, Randy driving a truck, and there's a shootout. The Trix rabbit gets like fucking blown away. It was fucking funny. I loved it. Go watch it. South Park has been good. Have you heard the recent reports that Mahershala Ali is out as Blade? He's likely leaving because Marvel is wasting its time. I've heard that they rewrote it again. Dragon Hero, $14 for $10. And like, I don't know how you crack the code, X-Ray Girl. I don't know. It's a mystery wrapped inside of Enigma, which is put inside of a conundrum. How do you write a movie about a guy killing vampires? I mean, it must be just impossible to come up with a plot of, say, for example, vampires want to eat people. Man wants to stop vampires from eating people. Man kills vampires.
Maybe they became vegetarian.
Like
in the
they must have. They must have, because it's just this an impossible conundrum to figure out. To have vampire hunter kill vampires. I mean, how did they do it with the Wesley Snipes movie? They must have like come up with some secret codex on how to write a movie and then destroyed it afterwards. Enochmamon, abuser of Streamlabs, for $5. If I had $1 for every time Bob Iger lied, I'd have enough money to buy Disney, probably, and WB2. Well, you'd certainly have enough money to buy the sinking Disney stock, which was at $100 last time I checked 2 days ago. Then culture would be saved because I don't give a fuck. I think if Disney Studio disappeared and stopped making movies like today, the world would be a better place. It would. Japanese Demon Lord for $5. Oh, Furians, an anime, is made by Toho, the same company that made Godzilla -1. Maybe that's some incentive to watch it. Oh, it kind of is. Zodlander for 50 Swedish krona. The movie ticket prices are just too high for me to waste my time and money right now. And that's just the ticket prices. Think about if you live in one of those crappy cities and you got to pay for parking or you got to pay for public transportation. And then, you know, what if you want to eat there? Yeah. Hollywood needs to make better stories and characters. Hail FNT. Hail to you. Jar is donated $1.99. Thank you very much. And then $4.99. Rey means king in Spanish. Therefore, Rey Skywalker means King Skywalker. Sneaky bastards. Fucking lame. Yeah, it's a woman king too. The John Beck for $5. Hi, Gary. Is J. Scott Campbell a good artist for DC? Looking at a Zatanna statue based on his art. Thank you. I would get a J. Scott Campbell Zatanna. For sure. Why, Zantana. Like Carlos Santana. I would. Yes, he's a good artist. For DC? Sure. For covers and stuff. Rudy Hood TV for $4.99. Dune 2 is the only good movie so far. I'm black, but the new Doctor Who is not. He's actually AI generated. I've been subbed for 2 years and love every minute. Hey, thank you. Thank you, brother. Appreciate it. Corey Bloomberg for $5. They made Tom Bombadil a fucking blue wizard. What the fuck is this hearsay? Did they? I mean, I didn't read the entire article. I'm kind of just waiting for the series at this point, but fuck. No word on Celeborn. If that would be fucking retarded. There's no way they went that retarded. Silo did a great job of sticking with the book, says Ashley Ramser for $1.99. And Mueller absolutely loved it, so I will be finishing it. Stuart Barnum for $4.99. Hail the ginger beard. Love your show. Much love from the UK. Hail to you. Hail to you. Enoch Lamont, abuser of Streamlabs for $5. Ryan Kindle is a boy boss. Yes, he is. 100% fact. Japanese Demon Lord for $2. You didn't finish my girl boss message.
I put the message at the side. I think you did finish it, but I could be wrong.
I might have not finished it. Hang on.
It's just to the right of it.
Okay, so the people are not tired of the girl boss. People are tired of poorly written girl bosses. The manga Freren is about godlike girl boss and sold 1 million copies last month. Probably because she wasn't written like a girl boss. Maybe she was just written like a powerful girl. That'd be my guess. Thank you, Japanese Demon Lord. Albert Nada Retro for 2 Canadian pesos. Bellucci is Italian. Sophia Marceau is French. Oh, Monica Bellucci is Italian. Did I say French? I'm sorry. She's hot. Captain Spire for $5. A movie with the title Mad Max should, at the very least, have a guy named Max who is actually mad. Pretty simple formula. Well, he's in it. He is in it for like a hot second. Furiosa loses her arm and is on her way back to the Citadel, and she's dying, and Mad Max saves her. We see a guy standing next to an Interceptor V8 eating out of a can, and he sees her, goes down, and then there's like a quick flash, and he takes her to the Citadel and disappears. That's his appearance in it. Vic the Stampede for 100 Czechoslovakian pesos. Has anyone ever told Disparu to go to the dentist? He's British. No. Fiesta Cat for $4.99. It's sad, really. I just want to take my kids to a movie, but more often than not, it's all crap and it costs too much. That's a big problem they're having. Plus, they got people out of the habit. You could be just as entertained, probably more entertained, by staying home, throwing on a Conan or something like that, or watching The Road Warrior again. Stefan Barksdale for $1.99. Have you been reading the latest Superman's run? No, I don't read any new comics from Marvel and DC. I gave up 3 years ago. The newest comic I read was Silvestri's Batman, which was pretty good from the main two. Bought it on eBay. That's the only thing. I have read most of Mark Millar's newer stuff, and I never really stopped. Those are the new comics I still buy. And Conan is pretty good. I am going to give Transformers a shot. Kirkman's Transformers is getting a shot next time me and Junior go to the comic store. I need to get some of the back issues, though. But, yeah, I'm just mainly reading back issues that are not independent books like Ripaverse stuff. Taker 610 for $2. Or I mean, a lot of it's older stuff, but older French comics that have been translated, I'll read those too. Taker 610 for $2. Sadly, a band called The Strokes already exists. This is true.
Oh.
Help, please give Send Go for fixing Stormy's smile. I don't know what that is. Ardent Party. Who's Stormy?
I have no idea.
I'll check. Hang on. Go. All right, I'll look it over. But yeah, we have kind of a policy with GoFundMe's or Give Sem Go. Unfortunately, I would like to think all people are great, but they're not. So we have to vet it. Not saying Stormy is bad and saying anything, but I'd have to vet it first. Mr. Burns for $2 should say Gen Zer. That does sound kind of better. Null Face for $4.99. Falcon shared far too many issues of Captain America in the 70s. Read the mailbag from them, and they finally took Falcon off the title. Yeah, Falcon was his fucking sidekick. Sam Wilson is Falcon. He's great as Falcon. If you want to make an argument that the Falcon could lead the Avengers, I would listen to that argument. Just not as Captain America. The Falcon's a great character. As a matter of fact, that was when I was buying comics. I just automatically assumed that the Captain America and the Falcon were always together. And it shocked me when they weren't. I was like, what? Peace or Utter Destruction for $4.99. I want to see Horizon, but I wish it looked more colorful. Like the old John Ford Technicolor Westerns. Yeah, it did look a little muted. But I kind of blame that on my theater. Modern movies look depressing. They do. They do. Bring back color. Japanese Demon Lord, final one of the day for $5. A great movie. A lot of people missed last month was Spy X Family Code White. Well, it's probably because it said white in it. It was worth a theater ticket.
Check it out.
We'll have to check it out. Thank you, Demon Lord. All right, we're out of here. What do you got coming up, X-Ray Girl?
Tomorrow or tonight, I have Poor Choices with Tugs on the Poor Choices channel, and then tomorrow we're doing a Hawaiian themed party at Zia's. My last night here, and then headed to San Antonio. So 7 p.m. for that tomorrow, and very excited to get to see Texas. Drive through it, so be careful.
Well, I don't know how exciting that's good. Well, hopefully you get some good weather.
Yes.
Yeah, but you'll be down here at Mikasa, at Casa de Nerdrotic.
So excited.
Yeah, it'll be fun. It'll be fun. All right, what do I have coming up? I have the Paranormal X at it's 11 a.m. on Nerdrotic Live. That'll be about an hour, and then 8 p.m. Central, the Clarkson's Farm watch party begins for the members. And that will we're going to watch the first 2 episodes of season 3. And then, if people like it, we can just go back and rewatch the whole thing. I don't care. Over time, And what they will be, it's going to be random times. It's not going to be always on Thursday. It'll be like when I can do it, but it'll be probably around every week. And I'll give you a week's notice. Okay? So there. And definitely Acolyte watch party for the members on the 4th, I believe. I don't know what time, whatever time it airs, right after it airs or when it airs. So keep that in mind, and I'll keep you posted on that. Otherwise, we just released a video. Garrett did such a fucking great job, and thanks for the great response to it. I really appreciate it. And Friday Night Tights, who do we got?
I believe it is, before I say lies, Benny Johnson.
Benny motherfucking Johnson, who just hit 2 million subs. 2 million subs. So he's coming on FNT. And thanks to the Modrotics. Thanks to everyone who left a super chat and donation. Thanks to all the lurkers. Thanks to everyone who participated in the chat. I'm so happy to be back. We had a great show. Over 8,000 people watching today. Love you guys. Go raid Ripa and the Silverback.
Oh, yeah, I can do that.
Yes. Go raid. I'll give you time.
Yeah.
I'll give you time. No, it won't take long.
Is it on Az's channel today?
I don't know, to be honest with you. I don't know.
Oh, yes, it is. Okay.
Yeah, well, I'll be at if you RSVP, I don't know if it's sold out or not. There is a meetup at the Dallas Fan Expo on Saturday from 7 to 10. I can't even remember the name of the location.
Boozy Bird or something like that.
Boozy Bird, and you have to RSVP.
Yes.
So you can go to Eric July's Sauska Sisters. You can go to either one of their Twitters, and the RSVP will probably
Mine's
be up there.
pinned at the top, so you can.
Oh, there you go.
Out.
It's pinned at the top.
There you go. And Eric's dropping in the chat. Thank you, Eric.
Thank you, Eric. And I'll see you there. Sauska Sisters are going to be there. X-Ray Girl's going to be there. Quarter Black Garrett's going to be there. Jeremy, Melanie Mack. Who else? Anybody?
My brain is farting. Yeah. Maybe there's some surprises. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe there'll be some surprises. Dede Cobra will be there. Dede Cobra. So that'll be interesting. So I'll see you Saturday if you guys make it to that. I'll be running around the con shopping. So that's what I'll be doing.
Your happy place.
My happy place.
Mhm.
All right.
Yeah. Bye, everyone.
What? Oh, I see Perry. Hi, Perry.
Hi, Perry.
What's up, Perry? All right. So we can rate them now. We set it to
Yeah,
go.
you can go ahead. Yeah,
All right.
all set already.
Thanks, everybody. Catch
Bye,
you
everyone.
on Friday, or if you
Friday.
remember, catch you tomorrow night. Bye-bye.
Friday. Bye.
Nerdrotic.com.